Hello everybody, you're listening to Mark Ling, and I've got with me today John Benson, a absolute master when it comes to writing copy that sells, and in particular he's particularly good at video sales letters. Now John Benson, he's actually really big in the fitness niche. He's really into his bodybuilding. He's got weight loss and fitness offers that have made millions of dollars over the years in sales. And he happens to be one of the few people that is really good at not only some guys out there are really good at making sales letters and sales videos that convert to sales, okay? But not very many are very good at transferring that skill onto other people. Not very many people are good at training other people to be able to write sales videos and so forth that convert. Because quite often people, they learn all this stuff and they figure it out themselves but can't explain it to other people. John is different. He's actually trained some of the best copywriters in the world now in how to write video sales letters that sell. In fact, the number one selling product on ClickBank at the moment is a dating product, which is outside of the niche that John Benson's in. John Benson is more in the fitness niche. Now, the number one selling product on ClickBank is in the dating niche, and John Benson is the guy that trained. He trained a guy who is actually a pickup artist. He trained him in how to write a video sales letter, and it is now the number one selling product on ClickBank. This guy was making $50 a week online going back about 3 years ago, and now he's making over I've heard it's over 400 sales per day. 400 sales a day of this dating product, all thanks to John Benson's video sales letter formula. So listen up, make sure you take lots of notes, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what John's got to say. So without further ado, here's John Benson.
Hey Mark, how's it going, man?
It's going great.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me here, and good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are at. Good whatever time it is to everyone listening. Thanks a lot for attending, and let me know if you can hear me okay. Can you say yes? I can hear John. And if I can get a lot of yeses, I can get going. Okay, looks like there's a whole lot of people saying yes. Are you seeing that, Mark?
Yep. I've got a
Fantastic.
couple of people asking me if it's live. Then yes, it is live.
This is live.
This is live, unless you are watching a recording. But yes, it is live.
Yes, unless you're watching the replay, this is as live as it gets.
Yep.
So this is an interesting thing, because this is normally something I actually charge for. I actually charge, not to be greedy, but charge to train people even on webinars to give them 5 steps, to give them this 5-step formula. We're doing it for free because Mark is not only a friend, he's a customer, and I just take care of my customers really, really well, I think, and I try to do better all the time. So I want to say thanks a lot for being here again, for spending the next hour or so with us, because you're going to learn a lot. So please have something to write with, because we're going to dive right into this, and I'm going to just get started right now.
Quick question for you guys.
Sure.
Can you hear John and can you hear me just fine? All right, getting lots of yeses and crystal clears. Okay, great. Cool. All right, I'll let you carry on.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let's get this show on the road. Here's what I'm going to be revealing to everyone today on this webinar. It's the real story behind video sales letters. There is a real story, and there's a lot of BS out there that's floating about. We'll let you know the real stories and why they, as Andy Jenkins, the video boss, says, GTM gets the money. Why are they working so well, especially the ugly ones? How I cracked the VSL code by accident, and that's not a marketing line of bull. This is actually the truth. I'm going to tell you that story. It's really kind of funny, and because I'm a fitness guy by trade. I have fitness and weight loss products. I never thought I would be in teaching people how to write copy. Never once dawned on me. And the 5-step covert formula used to generate over 10. That's 10 billion, by the way, with a B. That's what 10 billion looks like with zeros. I think that's pretty groovy. $10 billion in total VSL revenue since 2009. That's that we know of. So it's probably considerably higher than that. But this is this number I feel safe by saying. I would love to tell you that was all my videos of social, but it's not. This is people that have either taken my formula and used it. Most of these have used the formula. Some of them have created their own styles of stuff. Some of them have ripped this off and used it on their own. But most people come back to the 3X formula, what we'll be sharing with you tonight. And here's the craziest thing yet. This is a sexy new tool that automatically creates video sales letters for you. How many of you guys would like to have a tool that creates this practically for you? I'll put it this way, as easy as it could possibly ever be. Just say yes if this sounds interesting to you, because when you see this thing, it's going to freak you out. It's really cool. Right, a lot of people saying yes to that, yeah. And the thing is, video sales letters, as I'll share with you tonight, they are laborious. They are very tedious to create, like any sales copy. When you're looking at a blank page in PowerPoint or Word or text edit, whatever you use, and you're having to come up with the very okay, what is the subheadline? What is the pre-headline? What is the headline? Even professional copywriters, which I am now a professional copywriter, we get lost, and we need formulas and structures, and we've gone one better. We've got a tool, and that means that you can have what I call words that get cash. My wife actually came up with that definition for copywriting. She said it's words that get cash. Great sales copy means words that get cash. That's literally what it is. And I'm going to be covering all the details in this presentation. Please take a lot of notes because we're going to go pretty quick. I want to cover a lot of things with you. So first of all, if you don't know who I am, don't feel bad because I'm pretty covert. I've been in the fitness world. I'm fairly well known because I've had 2 best-selling books on ClickBank and in the print world. But in the internet marketing niche, only the kind of the top guys know who I am, and the rest of the people don't because they hired me to write their copy. So why should you be listening to me right now? Let me give you just a couple of really good reasons. I am the creator of the Ugly Video Sales Letter. Some people think that that's Ryan Deiss. If you've heard Ryan Deiss's course on this, it's a very short and not very thorough course, but nonetheless it got people started on it. And he credits me at the very first of the course for teaching his staff how to do this. But the Ugly Video Sales Letter is, I'll show you an example of this, is words in black and red words on a white background, very little graphics, and a voice. And that's really all there is to it. And there's all sorts of iterations of that we'll go into as well that work. But I'm the guy that started that in 2009. And I'm also the covert copywriter and or VSL coach behind some of the top offers on the internet. And I'm not just saying this, I'll tell you some of them. There's about 50 of them, but this is some of the big ones. Porter Stansberry's End of America has done $200 million to date. That is a ridiculously profitable video sales letter. And I had the privilege of coaching his 2 writers at a lab here recently. And we did a great job of increasing those conversions. I wrote the truthaboutAbs.com video sales letters. Because my voice is really hard to disguise that. It's been the top offer on ClickBank for 4 years in fitness, or one of the top offers in ClickBank, the top 2 for sure. And the video sales letter that I wrote actually doubled Mike's conversions. And he at that time had the #1 fitness product. And fitness is very difficult. If any of you guys are into the fitness world, you know how difficult it is to market fitness. It is so competitive, weight loss. Mike had the #1 product, and we doubled it. We doubled the conversions right out of the gate using the same formula I'm going to share with you. We just finished numerologist.com, and this was a huge honor for me because I was going against one of the best copywriters that ever lived, Gary Halbert, and the late Gary Halbert, may I say. May peace rest his soul. The bottom line is Gary is an amazing, amazing wordsmith, and going against Gary Halbert was like, me playing football against, well, I would say the New York Giants, but they didn't do so well last year. But I mean, they did okay. But it was tough. But the second rendition of that video sales letter with a few tweaks beat Gary's letter by 190%. So I was thrilled by that. And a lot of that has to do with the formula. Not that I consider myself a better writer than Gary, but the formula really helps me follow it. The Dow, and that is Dow, of badass.com, is the dating product that Mark was talking about. We've actually redone that video sales letter completely now. We've actually beaten the original finally with some help, and it goes on and on. So the guys who are in the top areas, the top niches, are usually clients of mine, people that I've either voiced, written, both, or they've gone through the 3X VSL formula course. So that's one reason to listen to me. I'm also the only guy alive who has a proven, tested copywriting click-and-go generator. I don't know anyone else that can say that fast either. It does all the heavy lifting for you. I think this is really cool because I really love to make things simple. I'm just not a guy that likes to overly complicate things, and that was the #1 complaint. And yes, I'll use the word complaint that I got when I released my first 3X VSL course, which taught people how to do this in 40 hours of video. So it was like really dense, and they were like, "Man, this is awesome stuff. It's the best marketing course I've ever taken." But damn, 40 hours, Can't you simplify this thing? And so we spent a year and a half and a lot of money simplifying it. And so what's happened is I've turned admins into $1 million VSL authors. And literally, these guys are turning their video sales letter writing over to people that don't even write them. And business owners who simply don't have time to do this. They pay guys like me 50 grand to do it for them. Well, now they can do it themselves because they can do this literally in a matter of hours once they get through the course and do their first one. And total internet newbies, people have never done anything. I'm going to give you an example of that later on. My assistant, Amanda, she's the assistant in the fitness company, has no experience in marketing at all. She's very difficult time writing anything. And she just wrote a VSL using the generator that outperformed an old sales page that we have that performs very well. So this is pretty cool. Total newbies can do this, and what they're doing is they're writing VSLs for hungry marketers that need copy, because every marketer needs copy, and they don't want to pay 30 grand to a guy like me or 50 grand to a guy like me that can do it for them. Even if they can, they would much rather pay somebody else $3,000 or $5,000, and that's cheap, let me tell you, to have a video sales letter that created for them that works. And I know guys doing this, and this is pretty cool. And I know a lot of copywriters are using this too, because copywriters are hazy and lazy, as I say on the screen. I mean, we get hazy. A lot of copywriters are known for partaking of various substances. I'm not one of them, but they get a little hazy, and we all get lazy. We all get to where we're like, it's just we just don't want to do it right now. And this is the trick that really helps. And you know what? As you're going to hear in my voice, I think you'll hear it in voice and see it in the words. I really love to help people. I love to help folks like you that are either on the internet and getting started, because I was there eight and a half years ago. 10 years. Geez, it's been 10 years now. And I really love to help people with anything dealing with copy, because if you have a product that you're passionate about, that you really, really believe in, or even if you don't have a product but you know of products that you want to share with other people, like through an affiliate situation, I just want to support you, because this is not like some sort of a wave. This is the absolute future of commerce, and you need to be in on this. And the foundation of that future is words that get cash, period. That's what it is. Without words that get cash, you're lost. It's just that simple. No matter how fancy your animation is, no matter how pretty your videos are, if the language isn't conducive to someone buying, to someone feeling a sense of rapport, all the strategies we're going to talk about tonight, and free from NLP stop terms and from trigger words. And I know you don't know what those phrases mean perhaps, but you will in a few minutes. If it's not free from that, it will kill your sales. And I don't want that for you. I desire something much more for you. And so I think that you'll hear that in my voice, and I hope so. Let me just start by asking a simple question. Do you want to make more cash on the internet? Everyone that wants to make more cash on the internet, please say yes. Please raise your hand. Please make some sort of a smoke signal. Let the internet gods know that, yes, I want to make more money on the internet. I think everyone can say yes to that. I say yes to that. It's right?
Of course, I'd say yes to that, and I see like over 100 people, or more than 100, are already saying absolutely yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, all coming through. Yes. And by the way, can you guys say a big yes if you'd heard of any of the websites that John mentioned before that he'd written the sales copy to? I'm just interested. Like, have you heard of The Truth About Abs? Have you heard of like numerologist.com, or maybe even some of, like, heck, I had it. I'm getting like 80% of people saying yes to either Dare of Badass or one of them, which is amazing. In fact, 90% I think of people are saying yes. There's about 100 of them. I even launched a product last week for women looking for men, which happened to make over 3,000 sales, and John was instrumental in training one of my staff members in how to write that video sales letter. So it works like crazy.
Yeah, and it was great because I trained him via the course and formula we're about to talk about. So it's easy to train people who want to do this, even if they don't write well. All you have to do is have a desire to make a living online and a desire to understand marketing. That's all you really need. And I think most everyone on the call, if not everyone on the call, has a deep desire to understand and leverage marketing. Marketing is essential for survival. Without marketing, none of us would be sitting at the chairs we're sitting at, looking at the computers we're looking at. This is our culture is based on it. And I believe that you need to be the best and most ethical marketer that you can be. And that's where sales copy comes in really handy, because let me give you this tip. I know the screen says something different than what I'm saying, but I'm going to give you a tip, and I'm going to do this throughout the presentation because I'm just that kind of an impromptu guy. I just want you to know that if you have great sales copy, you don't need to lie. You don't need to rip people off with price hikes. You don't need to, say, oh, I'm only going to give away 6 of these, and after 6, I'm going to take it away when you've really got 60 million of them to give away. That kind of stuff. You don't need to do any of that because the copy can do it for you. And I don't know about you, but that makes me happy. It really makes me happy when I've got a series of really, really good books that helps people do everything from lose weight to overcome heart attacks, because I had one in my 30s of all things, and of course internet marketing. These are my passions, so I can help people do this. I believe everyone should own a copy of this book that has that desire. So I owe it to myself to become the best writer that I can. This is what I'm going to help you do tonight. How many people think that sounds cool? Awesome. So say yes, raise your hand. I'm going to have a lot of participation going on tonight. No one's going to be checking their email. Please turn off email, Facebook, Twitter. Please put down the if you have a voodoo doll of Justin Bieber, you can keep it handy, but put it aside at least. I have one. So yeah, pay attention because this is really awesome stuff. I want to show you what having an internet lifestyle looks like, and I do this to not impress you, but impress upon you, as Tony Robbins says. Something very unique about the lifestyle that you can have on the internet. This, obviously, everybody wants wealth. This is actually my home. The home that you see here is I'm overlooking, as we speak right now, the Pacific Ocean in Malibu, California. This was my dream home, and this lifestyle afforded me that luxury. And I have a notarized letter down here from ClickBank stating what my just on ClickBank. Now I'm on multiple different, not to brag, but I'm on multiple different payment plans. Of course, I'm on my own merchant accounts and everything. But just from a digital ebook series. This is all just digital ebooks. It's $7,207,000 since beginning. And here's the scary part of that. I didn't make jack shit until 2009. So from 2005, 2009, I was getting by. I was making, I made 6 figures, I think, one of those years. But when 2009, when the video Salesletter came out, it jumped into the millions. And that was pretty amazing. And I put the car up here as a joke. That's actually my real car. It's a Fisker, and I didn't buy it. It was given to me by a company that said, write a video Salesletter, here's a $120,000 car. What we didn't know is this $120,000 car that's going out of business. So, but I don't care because my wife and I love this car. It's electric. It's a hybrid. Well, it's not fully electric, but it's a hybrid, and we can pretty much go everywhere on electric, which we think is really cool. So wealth is really cool. But this is probably a little shocking to you. And I put this picture in here to shock you on purpose. I used to be really, really, really unhealthy in my 30s. I was working long, long hours. Yes, I even had a mullet. So that's really scary. I was pretty depressed. I was really, really out of shape, and I had a heart attack. And
that's not you on the left, is it, really?
That's me on the left. Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
God, you wouldn't believe it looking at you now.
Yeah, thank you. I think. And so that was me on the left at the age of 33, and me on the right at the age of 49 and a half. So I am 49 and a half now. So there's a little bit of a difference there. And the reason I can do that and train that hard, obviously I do that partially as what I do for a living, but the other side is I have the time to do it. And let me tell you, if you have freedom, financial freedom, you have time. So wealth is great. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome. But I would trade all of it for this health, the physique, and the ability to run and jump and play like a kid, because I can, and this. This is my beautiful wife, Andrea. And yeah, it chokes me up to look at that. This is we were in Kauai on our honeymoon on the left, and standing in front of we used to have a vintage Cobra. I love sports cars, so and we're talking. You can't tell from the back, but this is two of the great internet marketers, Brendan Bouchard on the left and Frank Kerr on the right, and we enjoy our time a lot together, and we, as you can tell, are very happy. And that is the lifestyle I want for you. And to say video Salesletter's played a big part in that is an understatement. I need to be completely transparent. Teaching people how to do it and selling courses on how to do it is not how I made my money. I made my money by actually writing video Salesletters and proving that they work. So I don't listen to guys that say, "Oh, here's how you get rich on the internet. You buy my Get Rich on the Internet course." That's bullshit, and I swear. So I apologize in advance. But I'm from New York, so it kind of comes in the blood. It's a genetic thing. But I tell you right now, this is not how I make my living. My main living is made by creating VSLs using the same formula I'm going to show you for various different people now. I used to do it only for myself, and all of that ClickBank stuff you saw was my own. So this is just my own stuff. That doesn't count all the stuff that I've done for other people. So I'm saying that not to impress you, because there's people that make hundreds of millions of dollars and they make far more money than I ever will. That's fine. I don't need that. I just want to be happy and joyful, and I want that for you. So what is a VSL? In case you don't know, and there are people that don't know, and that's cool. Here was my first sales page I wrote for my book called The Every Other Day Diet, which at the time it was selling about 16 to 20 copies a day on a really, really, really good day. It converted at under 1%. And back in the day, in 2008, this was the gold standard. 1% was the gold standard of conversions. If you converted at 1%, my God, you were kicking ass. You were really great. Well, I had a big part in changing that. Sorry. But after Video Sales Letters came out, 1% is horrible. Absolutely dismal. Unless it's absolutely cold traffic, then it's still really good. But from warm traffic, I was getting affiliates mailing for me getting under 1%. Terrible. So what I did is I took the same copy, and I'm going to tell you the story how I did it, and I created this. And this is what converted at over 6%. So over 600% increase to the same exact list. Same traffic, nothing changed. The only thing that changed was I put a voice in really ugly type on a screen and talked over it. And if you think it's because my voice is somewhat radio friendly, no, think again. I mean, I can list 100 video sales letters off the top of my head. Porter Stansberry being one of the most famous. Porter has a horrible voice. He sounds like he is going to sleep and he just took 17 Xanax. And that video sales letter crushing it, 200 million in revenue so far. So yeah, please, it's not the voice. It's the passion behind the voice or the intent of the voice. In fact, my assistant Amanda has a very shrill voice. She sounds 7, and it still works. So it's not the voice. It's the words and how they're highlighted, and we're going to go over that today. So now VSLs have been responsible, like I said, for generating over 10 billion with a B in known revenue since 2009. But here's the cool part. It's used by newbies, by people who are totally new into the internet marketing world. Intermediate guys, guys who have a product, maybe it's not converting well like I used to be, and I am pros. Guys like Brendan Bouchard, Joe Polish, Evan Pagan, Frank Kern, down the line, Ryan Dice. Everyone you know has a video sales letter, bar none. Even Andy Jenkins. If you don't know who Andy Jenkins is, just say yes if you know who Andy Jenkins is. Andy Jenkins is the video boss. Andy Jenkins is one of the nicest guys I know. He's good. I consider him a very good friend. We've been texting back and forth since his launch of Video Genesis, which is a superb video product. And it has nothing to do with video sales letters, but has how to make a pretty video. And it's so funny because I wrote his video sales letter close for the Video Boss 2.0 launch. So even he believes in the power of ugly video, which I think is great. Because I believe in the power of pretty video too. I just use it very sparsely.
I'll just mention about pretty videos, by the way. A pretty video will only boost your conversion rates by 20%, 30%, whatever. But if you're not converting well, then it's pointless. So you could have an ugly video that converts at 5%, and then you could make it convert at maybe 6% by making it pretty. Or you could have a pretty video that converts at 1%, and you know what? What's the point? You know, so at the end of the day, even if you're going to make a pretty video, you're wasting your money if you start pretty. You should be starting with an ugly video and then make it pretty later when you've really dialed in the conversion rates.
Absolutely true. And I can add a few other things to that. We tested intensely pretty video versus ugly video, and in only 2 cases pretty video won. And those 2 cases were very specific. Now, the difference is the pretty video cost us $30,000 to make because we used animation and videography. So unless you've got a product that's making you a lot more than $30,000, I personally don't consider that a wise choice to make unless you have words that get cash working in your favor. And in that case, you could do any video you want. VSLs are just easier to do. I mean, especially with what I'm about to show you, point and click. I mean, give me that any day over figuring out what lens to use. So here's how newbies are using VSLs. They're using it as job creation and security. And this is a cyber world, folks. I know that you know that because we're on a cyber platform. But it's going to get more cyber as we go. I don't know if you know this or not, but in the next 4 years, the internet will double. I'm going to say that again. In the next 4 years, the size of the internet will double. If you don't think this is a good time to be on the internet for business, man, oh goodness. If I was starting now, I would be just as blissfully happy. So nothing is in more demand than copywriters. Let me just say it that way. Because people who understand marketing understand that copy, it rules the roost. So VSLs and the formula that I'm going to be sharing with you today is creating an entirely new BizOp in MLM lead gen, and no writer to pro writer is what I call it at Marketplace in 2013. This really just started happening literally this year because now newbies can do it. Newbies couldn't do it before because there wasn't a tool to allow them to do it. They could learn it, and some of them, I've got several guys that were total newbies that learned the course, but it took them about a year to get it down. Now we got guys that can do this in a week. It's pretty cool because of that one tool. Now, the other thing is to market hot products as affiliates, okay? Over $200,000 I made selling just one affiliate product by creating a VSL in my voice. So in other words, it wasn't my product, it was somebody else's product. I just made a VSL about it. I made about 11 to 14 minute VSL, something in that area. Made $200,000 selling it as an affiliate, okay? And here's what's really cool. I struck a deal with the affiliate to send his traffic to me. Now, you might be thinking, why on earth would anyone do that? Because I'm a third-party testimonial. I love the product, so I made a video about it. I made a video sales letter about it. So he sent me his traffic. So I built a list at the same time. Now, I didn't get his normal commissions. In fact, I got a 25% commission. So I let him keep the majority of the commissions. I still make 200 grand. But I made more money off the list. You see where this is going? So if you're a newbie, this is a fantastic idea. If you present a product, a guy or a girl that's got a product that you love, and you go, hey, check out this video sales letter I made for you. If you'll send traffic to this, this is a great third-party resource. And they can frame it that way because they have nothing to do with it. Awesome idea. Do run with that one. And finally, at long last, you can create what I'll call this digital stock, by the way. I call my ebooks digital stock. It's like having a stock that never goes down. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to create your own product. So, does that make sense?
Yep.
Everybody good with it? Can everybody still hear me? Let's make sure everybody is here. Everybody say yes.
Yeah, all the yeses are just appearing all at once now.
Okay,
it must have been a lag for a second.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Okay,
Hundreds.
so let me ask a silly question. Do you love the sound of actual cash flow? Because what I was just talking about was actual cash flow. If you do like that sound,
Matt,
say
this
yes.
is not. No, Matt, this is not recorded. Sorry, you can carry on.
So yeah, actual cash flow. That's pretty crazy, huh? So I was showing you actual real cash flow. I love the sound of that. And here's a guy that did exactly what I was just telling you. He's a total newbie. He took the course and he applied just one of the principles. My 2 stories principle, made 15 grand from his webinar in a boost from his webinar. And he's a newbie. He doesn't have a product. He was just doing a webinar about an affiliate product. So that's someone you've never heard of. I can't even pronounce his name. There you go. Got a lot more where that comes from. But I want to show you how product owners, in case you have a product, and service providers are using video sales letters. It is the best converting tool there is. I mean, nothing creates sales faster than a VSL. Marketers, IM pros know this. Some use animation. Some use live video. Most are in that ugly version of the VSL that I pioneered. But you know what? It all works. And it also works for opt-ins. In case you want to create leads and build a list so you can have income for life. It works for opt-ins and it works for upsell pages as well. So if you're an advanced marketer, you have an upsell page. Let me tell you, VSLs kill it, man. They freaking kill it. I know we're getting 45% take rate on some of our upsells where we're getting 25% before, just by using a 2-minute video sales letter versus a written copy. So my highest opt-in copy, by the way, was 40 seconds long. Now, video sales letters can be long. They can be hours long, literally. The average time is about 35 minutes to 40 minutes, something in that duration. So don't let that, when VSLs first came out, people go, who would watch an 18-minute video sales letter? Well, now they're 40 minutes. This tells you who's going to watch it when you look at that $10 billion in revenue. They also use it in a funnel with other sales tools. So let me be really emphatic here. Please pay attention to what I'm saying. I believe in a combination of marketing modalities. The modalities are just sensory perceptions and the way that we perceive the world and take in information. So one person on your list may be really hypnotized by video sales letters. Another person may want to read the same copy, just on a page. Another person may enjoy webinars. And the top IM guys employ all of these and then some. So I use 4 different techniques to sell things. Always starting with a video sales letter. Never starting anywhere else except on rare occasions where I know a short text-based sales page will work. Like if it's a super low-end product and I know it will work, then I'll try it there. Even then, whenever we put a video sales letter to it, it beats it. It's just faster to write a very short sales page. So that's the truth of the matter. You should use all of them, but always start with a video sales letter. And best of all, like I said, they're turning admins into copywriters. I just love that. I'm going to show you a quote from Telman Knutson here in a minute. Telman Knutson's a very famous internet marketer, in case you don't know. Brian Dice, dozens of the top IM pro dudes are using the generator, which I'm about to show you, to turn their staff members into copywriters. I already told you about our assistant Amanda, who doesn't write at all, and her video sales letter on our first test beat the control by 200%. Now, that's pretty remarkable. So here's what Telman said. Cut the sales page video creation time down by 2/3, and since using the generator, they've created 30 high-converting, profit-pulling sales videos. Now, it used to, very important here, they used the generator and slashed that time down to 6 days to create a video from start to finish with someone who's never done it before. It was taking 3 weeks for a professional copywriter to do it. So now their employees are doing it in 6 days.
I actually used your generator and wrote a VSL in 6 hours, and I could have done it in 3 hours, but I was really polishing it up at the end.
Yeah, you know, I say the average time is 90 minutes to write the video sales letter, and then I usually give myself another 90 minutes to polish it. But once you get the formula down, you can do it in 90 minutes. The first video sales letter takes longer because there's a lot of video training that I want people to go through. Some people skip it, and that's to their own demise. I think if you go through the video training, not only is it fun, you'll learn a lot about marketing that you could apply to your emails and your blog posts and other things, because it's a holistic marketing program. But when you go through the videos, the first VSL will take you a couple of days, because you'll go through the videos, then you'll create it. After that, 90 minutes to 3 hours. Yeah, it's pretty fast. So pretty cool. And this is Telman saying what he's done. He's put 7 figures in his pocket, and he can teach his team how to use the templates. It's that simple. It's because it's a team building thing. So let me share with you how all of this got started, because I told you I would tell you my little horror story. I was having dismal luck on YouTube. You would think a fitness guy would have good luck on YouTube. No, not me. My buddy Mike Chang has great luck on YouTube. In fact, I'm just rewriting his video sales letter. And they have 1.5 million subscribers. They have 200 million views. They're doing everything right. I didn't know any of this stuff, and I was doing everything wrong. And I was taking a long time to build a video. I take like 9-10 hours to shoot a video. And they're just a completely different animal than VSLs. The VSLs require really specific tricks to make them work. And so what happened was I had a video coming up and I didn't shave for a week. And the reason why I didn't shave for a week is because I used to play football, and my favorite football team was in the playoffs. And it was a superstition that we had when I played football to never shave before a big game. So we kind of carried the superstition over, and I didn't shave for a week, and I ended up looking like a vagrant. You know, some guys look really cool when they don't shave. I just look like a street bum. So I didn't want to do a video. So here's what I did. I put my voice to black text. I took the script I'd written out and literally put it into a PowerPoint file, and then talked over the script. And the reason I did that is because I remembered a study I read when I was a psychology minor that said people retain 68% more information when they hear and read the same thing. And that little breakthrough led to $1 billion industry. I'm not kidding. It was this stupid. I didn't want to shave, so accidentally created the video sales letter. This is how it happened. So I thought this was a fluke because I got like 3 times the sales to that one video. So I thought, okay, what I'll do is I'll test it with that every other day diet sales page that you saw. So that's the sales page I redid, and in less than a month, I was making crazy money. Crazy money. And the reason I was making crazy money wasn't just from my list. It was because every affiliate started picking me up. I had the 3 biggest affiliates in the world sending me over $1 million a month in traffic. Now, I couldn't afford $1 million a month. I couldn't afford $1 million period in traffic back then, you know. And so I wasn't doing any traffic buying, none whatsoever. No SEO, no anything. And I was making 2,000 sales a day in less than a month. That's no joke. The finances, I've got to prove it. So it was crazy. Now, granted, I'm going to give you all the granteds. Granted, this was the very first video sales letter. It was a shock to the system. So it was converting like crazy. After everyone started using it, I decreased in my volume in sales decreased from about 600% conversions to about 450% conversions. I'll suffer through it. You know what I mean? So it still works like crazy, even though this is the most saturated market there is for video sales letters is fitness. It's the most saturated market, and it still works like crazy. The top offer right now is a video sales letter. I just saw it. In fact, I just voiced it. So you'll know it because I did it. And this put an end to my financial and traffic struggles forever. And a lot of people come to me and go, John, how do I get traffic? That's my #1 problem is I can't get traffic. No, man, it's not your #1 problem. The problem is your words suck. I'm telling you, that's your problem. That's the only problem that you have in your business when it comes to finances is that your words suck. They're not words that get cash. If they were put into a format that would deliver the goods, trust me when I tell you, traffic goes away because every affiliate wants to send to a high converting offer. Does that make sense? How many people think that makes perfect sense? Say yes, if that makes perfect sense to you, that if you had an offer that converted like freaking crazy, that affiliates would line up and promote for you, and everyone is saying yes.
It's exactly what happens. It's what happened with a lot of my offers, in fact, like in the dating niche. When I switched over to video sales letters, almost not instantaneously, but within a matter of weeks, I managed to bring the earnings for that website from something around $8,000 a week up and over $25,000 a week from my dating website. You know, it just happened really quickly with video sales letters because all of a sudden everyone wants to promote it, the affiliates.
Exactly. Yeah, the fact is, video sales letters, I'm going to share in the 5 steps, which I'm coming up to, guys. I'm going to share in the 5 steps exactly where you put your content. It's very important to put it in a specific place. So hang with me because I'm going to tell you what that is.
Can I say one more thing before?
Sure.
Just before you carry on, because I just had a couple of people ask this in the Q&A box. Does this work if you are selling something else, like say financial services? And I can actually say yes, because it works in a different way. I mean, these video sales letters work particularly for info products, whether it's a dog training product, a weight loss product, a save relationship product, a language learning product, whatever. It works really well for info products and software products. But I've seen, I've got a friend of mine that does this does it for lawyers, doctors, accountants. He does it for all of those sorts of people. He just shortens the video sales letter down to, just makes it really, really short. But but it still works like crazy, and they can't understand how it's all working for them. But actually, it works in every niche. It's really incredible. So yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. I'll let you carry on.
No, Mark, I have a little bet that I make with people. In fact, you're going to see a little bit of this, or I'm going to talk a little bit about it later. I did a presentation at Boardroom. Boardroom is one of the largest direct mail marketers in the world. And in that presentation, everybody paid $2,500 a piece to sit in a room for 8 hours. So that was pretty cool. Pretty expensive 8 hours. But the people in that room it was very hush-hush. I mean, there was the top guys in the marketing world for video sales letters and copywriting were in that room. 3 of the top copywriters that do nothing but write copy. The entire Agora staff team in their health and financial division, the Vin DiCarlo, top guy in the dating niche, and on down Mark Spit. I could go down the line with famous people in that room, and I was the speaker talking about video sales letters, of course, and about how this can work in any niche. And I threw this out. I said, I will challenge you right now, anyone in this room, throw me out a business this would not work for. And I had some doozies thrown at me. I had the best one ever. I have a client that collects old rare coins. And in 5 minutes, this is all on video, we got their USP, which is their unique selling position, down, and they had a video sales letter script. They literally had the formula for the script. It would work perfect. I've yet to meet an industry that it doesn't work in. In fact, if somebody says financial advising, I have a testimonial I'll show you from a guy who's in financial advisor. So yeah, it works. It's positioning. Everything's about positioning, and a lot of what I teach inside the course is positioning. So let me just say this. The answer to all this is simple, that you've just got to have a sales page that's completely composed of words that get cash. And I know that may sound like total common sense, but believe it or not, this is the #1 thing that marketers overlook. I'm talking about even seasoned marketers. They will forget the importance of their words and emphasize their product. And I'm not saying don't focus on your product. I'm saying don't sell your product. No one cares about your product. They don't care. And I say that in a very harsh way inside 3X. They really don't care about your product. They don't care about your service. What they care about is the benefits that your service gives them, that your product delivers to them. That's all they care about. And once you understand that, your words completely change. They just want the benefits. You could have the best software in the world. They don't care about how great and how many millions of dollars you spent to develop it. They don't care. They just want to know, will it make me money? Will it save me time? This is all they're knowing. This is all they're interested in. And that's fine. And that's where your copy has to be focused. Now, there's a problem with all this. It sounds great. I know it all sounds cool. But creating copy like this is an art form. And it's one guys like me charge 50 grand to do. I'm getting to the point where I don't want to do it anymore for people, and I'm not saying, oh, I'm just so wealthy. I'm not that wealthy. I just don't want to do it anymore. I like doing live talks, and I love the fitness stuff that my wife and I do, and things of that nature. But the bottom line is most sales copy just freaking bombs. And the scary reasons why that's true is there's called this thing in NLP called trigger words and stop phrases. NLP is called Neuro Linguistic Programming. And it's not the only tool of copywriters. It is one of many, but it is a very important tool. And there are words that you are using inside your copy. Literally one word can crush your conversions. I've seen it happen too many times to know. It's just ridiculous. We've taken out a phrase and watched our conversions triple. One phrase. One phrase. Okay? So unless you know where to look for these phrases, it's like, you know, going into a nuclear reactor that's busted and tapping around with a hammer and hoping you tap on the right spot. It's just literally that much of a crapshoot. And even if you had the cash to pay a pro, it takes time, because guys like me, we're backed up for months. And those months are months that you lose cash. That's not cool. I mean, you don't want to sit around and lose cash on the internet. And if you try to write your sales copy without any tutorial, without any formula, without any help, a lot of savvy business owners do this because they think, you know, I'm a smart guy or a smart girl. I started a business and I did well in journalism. I've heard that more than once. I'm actually a good writer. And their copy sucks. I mean, it sucks. It's horrible. That they're a great business owner, and that's what they should be concentrating on. Don't you think you should be concentrating on what you do the best, running a business or creating a product or looking for affiliate products that you want to promote? That's what I want to give you the power to do. And if you're concentrating on doing something that you don't do well, like writing copy, it can you do more than backfire. You can lose JV potentials because no one will send to a bad offer twice. So that's frustration. There's your problems in creating these killer video sales letters. Now, that said, there's a formula. I'm going to give you the 5 steps today. Solves a lot of the problems. And as of today, this process could be 90 to 95% automated. Automated. That is cool. Say yes if you would love to have automatic sales copy, created with a few clicks of your mouse and from watching some videos in your spare time. Everyone say yes, because that sounds like a really freaking cool thing. It is a really freaking, yeah, everyone's saying that's a freaking cool thing. So I think automatic sales copy that you can use to make more cash as a newbie or an IM pro is an awesome thing. I don't know about you, but I know it's awesome. And you can get started doing this today. How many people think that sounds really awesome? Just say yes. Say yes. Raise your cyber hands. I love to see participation. It gives my energy a kickstart.
So many people typing in yes and awesome for sure. Yes, 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 yes. Amaze balls. Yeah,
and
baby.
I will give you a small hint. I have the answer. I'll give you another hint. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It took years to do this. I'll tell you that story later. But this was great. I just had to show a couple of quick feedback from some of the users. By the end of the video, I put my credit card in, and I just had to buy it. Now, I didn't make these testimonials up. You guys can contact all these people if you want to. Tom Orant is a doctor who uses video sales letters. I wrote and voiced one of his video sales letters. And I kept talking about Truth About Abs in context with him, and he went to Truth About Abs. He's 6'2" and 175 pounds. He's thin as a rail. He couldn't resist. He bought it. He doesn't know why he was compelled to buy. I do. I understand the psychological triggers that make people take them out of a decision mode into a desire mode. Does that resonate? You want to be in a mode of desire, not in a mode of decision. When you're in decision mode, you're going, yeah, well, what about, I don't know, what about, there's that, and that creates friction. And when you create friction on the page, friction anywhere kills. So your goal as a copywriter, as a product owner, as someone that wants to get started on the internet, is to create pages that don't have friction. It's that simple. By doing that, and by using this formula, which really helps, a guy like Ben DiCarlo used it, created 20 million in sales in 18 months from a single video sales letter. That's amazing. I would love to promise you that everyone would make 20 million. If you have the right product, you can. Obviously, there's people that make more than that, a lot more than that. Just shared a few with you. But the bottom line is Ben went from nothing to 20 million in 18 months. That's pretty amazing. More common experiences are a guy like Lane Bowers at the bottom. He's just a barefoot skier, and he had this formula that he puts on his feet that helps him ski. And he wasn't so impressed with the fact that he started making high 5 figures and then finally low 6 figures on the internet from nothing, from starting from nothing with one video sales letter. He was thrilled with that because he got to keep his full-time job as a skier. That's what he does. He's a professional skier. But more than that, he was just freaked out by the information, the course. He just really, really loved the course. And I wanted to share that with you because I love teaching. And if you like to learn stuff that you can apply in multiple situations, hey, you're at the right place. So here's the 5-step formula. It is the formula for fast, simple VSL creation. It is the formula that every top converting video sales letter in the world uses. And I've never seen it broken, at least not to any great extent. So it's pretty damn solid. In copywriting, like I've said, chaos is your enemy. If you want to remember the old honey badger videos, anyone remember that? So yes, if you remember the YouTube sensation that was the honey badger, it was just utterly chaotic. It was just randomness all over the place, and people laughed, but no one bought anything. But that's what most sales pages are like, and that's what most video sales letters. They're so random and they're so chaotic. It's your enemy. A formula removes the chaos, and automation makes it even better because it removes the friction. Remember, we talked about friction, and you want to remove friction. And the friction that I'm talking about here isn't friction with your customer, it's friction with you. Because everyone on this call is probably similar to me in the sense that we know we need to do some things and we just don't do it. It's called friction. You know you need to go to the gym and work out, or you need to go run, or you need to take care of your dog, or you need to do this or that, and you don't. And that's because you're human, right? Well, what I found helps overcome friction, and that is friction, is automation. When things can be automated, put on autopilot, things can be done so fast and efficiently and organized in such a streamlined manner, I get you done. You know, and so much for procrastination. I basically put off procrastination, which is kind of cool. So I want to remove the friction. So here are those 5 steps. The first step, now these steps are going to sound mysterious. I want to explain them all. The snap suggestion, the vital connection, the big problem, the bigger solution, and the grand offer. That's it. There's 5 steps to a video sales letter. And this is not true of a text-based sales page, by the way. The snap suggestion would not work on a text-based sales page. Wouldn't work that well on a webinar either. It only works in a video sales letter, and that is a very, very big secret sauce. The grand offer is crucial. We'll get to that at last, obviously, but we're going to get to the snap suggestion first, then go into the vital connection. What do I mean by snap suggestion? This is all about what's called a pattern interrupt. Let me know if you know. Say yes if you know what a pattern interrupt is. If you don't, that's totally cool. It's an NLP term, and it simply means I'm going to scratch your pattern. I'm going to scratch your brain a little bit. And here's why this is important. You have no idea where your user, your viewer, your webinar, whatever you're doing, your VSL person, a person watching your VSL, your prospect, you have no idea where they've come. Have they just gotten in an argument with their significant other? Have they been browsing YouTube videos and been entertaining themselves by watching something funny, and now all of a sudden they're on a weight loss, or you better buy this financial product or you're going to be doomed channel? You know, you don't know where they've been. So what you have to do is erase the pattern. You have to snap them out of that pattern. And the way that you do that is through clever use of imagery and language, which I'll give you some great examples here. And I call it snap suggestion because here's what it's like. Picture this, if you will. Picture going into a group of 4 or 5 people, and you know how people get into a little circle and talk in a social gathering. Maybe you're at church or you're at camp or wherever you're at, and they're all huddled around talking, and then you just walk up in the middle of this group and go, and you snap your fingers right in the middle of the group. What do you think is going to happen? They're either going to kick your ass, or they're going to all just look at you. They're going to stop what they're doing and just, why did you just do that? You have interrupted their pattern. That's all you've done. You've scratched the CD of their brain. It's pretty cool. And the reason why this is so important, and this is going to sound a little nefarious, but again, I'm going to assume that everyone listening to me is honest and ethical and will not use this for nefarious means. Please don't. Please don't do that. When you interrupt someone's pattern, there is a moment in the brain where the brain becomes more open to suggestion. I'm not saying you can say bark like a dog, and that's hypnotism, but this is the next closest thing to hypnotism. What it does is it opens up channels in the brain that allow people to take in new information without friction, without roadblocks. Does that make sense? It's very important. And as you can probably tell, ooh, this is probably a really important part of a video sales letter or any sales page to get done right, because you want to interrupt that pattern. You want to snap your fingers. And then you drop a suggestion. And all your suggestion is usually, I want you to stick around and watch this entire video until the end. Or, hey, I want to share some awesome stuff with you, so be sure you watch this presentation. That's the extent of my suggestion. But that gets people locked into your video sales letter for the entire duration, because we keep hinting at that suggestion throughout the entire process. Let me show you a visual example that's very funny. It's actually from the guy we were talking about, Josh, from the Dow Badass, and it's a dating product. So picture these guys are surfing maybe sites that you wouldn't want to talk about in public, or most often they might be coming from MaximMagazine.com or a sports center thing, and then all of a sudden they see this.
My name is Josh, and this is fish. And just a few minutes, I'm going to show you how this fish will help you get laid.
Do you think that would grab some attention? Well, it certainly did grab a lot of attention, to the tune of going from a very measly $50 a week or so product to being the top product on ClickBank, period. That's how much attention this 2 slides got this video sales letter. This is right out of the 3X VSL formula. That's all it is. It's a simple pattern. What the hell does a goldfish have to do with having sex? Well, don't you want to know the answer to that question? Well, yes, you do. And so you watch the video. You see how that works? It's very simple. And it totally disrupts the pattern of the user when they get to the site. In fact, here's Josh himself. He said, this is true. He worked for me for free for almost a year just to learn all these tricks. And he did. And then he took them all home with him, and I told him to turn his brain off, write his first VSL using nothing but the formula, and that is what came out. And now they are making literally millions. So I'm proud of him. Josh is like my brother. So very, very proud of someone who, by the way, Josh is a lot like a lot of internet marketers I know. He has a fear of wealth, or had a fear of wealth. Didn't really know quite what to do with the whole, make a lot of money thing, because he's just one of those guys. I'm just cool, and I'm not pretentious. I drive an old car, so I don't really. But he wanted to be successful. Maybe you know someone like that. I don't know. I used to know someone like that very intimately well myself. Then there's the vital connection. This is step 2, and the vital connection is all about rapport. So let me ask you a question. If I told you right now that I was born into a family of copywriters, and I learned to write copy at the age of 6. In fact, I could write Tolstoy in my left hand in Greek while writing Nabokov in my right hand in Latin. And I went on like this for 15 minutes. Do you feel any rapport with me, or do you just want to shoot me in the head? I mean, are you like, this guy's an ass, man, or wow, he's really smart, but I can't even relate to this guy. Why does it matter to me? Okay? On the other hand, if I tell you the truth, which I'm going to tell you the truth right now, and tell you the truth and said, you know what, I never, ever, ever said I was going to be a copywriter, ever, in my entire life. I never said I want to be a copywriter, ever. In fact, my first copy I wrote completely sucked. And I paid a guy to write the next bit of page copy for me. That was awful. And I never understood the connection between what I studied in school, which is philosophy, not a very useful degree, psychology, and copywriting, until I put all the dots together. And then it really became sort of accidental. I mean, I accidentally kind of figured this out. And I never claimed to be this copywriter, yet guys like John Carlton, one of the best copywriters in the world, Gary Halbert, Gary Benzavenga, these names mean they're the holy trinity of the copywriting world, all consider me friends and say this guy is the badass of the 21st century. I mean, so I don't believe that. They do. So it's pretty cool, Don't you feel more rapport with me? I'm telling you the truth, and you can hear my voice that I'm telling you the truth. I'm not trying to downplay anything, and I'm not trying to upplay anything. That's rapport. And what your audience wants to hear, what your prospect wants to hear, is that you have an answer for them. Yeah, sure, they want to see that you're successful, that you've got proof. That's true. But more than that, they want to feel that they are like you, and that you're not so far above him or her that they could never reach you. And you see all these nonsensical internet marketers that are out there saying, hi, I'm Bob, and this is my 8 houses and my 16 Ferraris and 13 bikini-clad girlfriends, and this over here is $1 million in cash, in pennies no less. And they think this means anything. To the guy that's struggling to pay his bill this month, an electric bill, or to the single mom who's wondering how she's going to feed her kid, this is who I'm talking to, I'm just assuming that that's who it is. Now, you may not be in that position. You may be doing really well for yourself, and that's awesome. But I want to speak to everyone. So unless I come down with rapport, and I can do that very well in fitness, as you just saw, hey, I'm not just someone who happens to be on the cover of a magazine. No. I was a former obese dude, and heart attack in his 30s, just a horrible nightmare story. That is called rapport. I'm basically saying I'm no better than you. I just happen to figure a few things out, and I would like to share it with you. Does that make sense? Does everyone feel like that makes sense to you? Just say yes if you like that. If it makes sense that rapport building is important. And can you see how often it's overlooked? Comment. Let me know if you see marketing pages that just completely miss this point. They're just so hooked on like, oh, this product is so great. Oh, this is going to make you so much money, that they forget to tell you that, you know what, I was a struggling dude or girl.
That's awesome. There's like a couple of hundred people saying, yes, absolutely, too many all the time. I've seen that. Yes, that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
And so forth.
And thank you. Thank you for that feedback, because what you're going to hear from me is I'm going to over-deliver. I'm going to keep you on the phone longer than normal, because I'm going to talk until and Mark cuts me off. I want to give more than what people line up for to pay for or to get for free or whatever this is. Of course, you're getting this for free. I don't care. I want to give more, because I want to make sure that everybody walks away with at least 3 aha moments. Oh, wow, that really made a lot of sense. And I can't do that if I'm looking at my watch all the time. And I can't do that if I'm trying to build myself up to be something like Superman when I'm actually this guy that's a lot like you. You know, I can't do that. And I'm not saying that I'm not a good copywriter. I am a good copywriter. And I'm not saying I haven't had success on the internet. I've had tremendous success on the internet. What I am saying is I started off in the same place that everybody else is at, and without the silver spoon in my mouth. In fact, a pretty hideous location for me. My first product I got lucky with because I had someone else write the copy for it. Everybody thought I was a good marketer. I didn't do anything. I just wrote the book. So, you know, hey, writing a book is one thing. Writing sales copy, as I found out the hard way, completely different. So this is all about connecting to your prospect as you figure. And it's using phrases like, you know, I can relate. I'm a lot like you. And what I usually say there is I usually say, you know what, I may not be 100% positive about this, but I think I'm a lot like you. And the reason I say that is because rather than making a categorical claim, you know, I am just like you. Well, I'm probably not just like you. But if I say, you know, I'm not sure, but I'm probably a lot like you, everybody goes, yeah, yeah. And that's the nod of the head rapport that I want. It's not the, oh, make them say yes hypnotically thing. I want rapport. I want them to go, I'm understanding you. Okay, this guy is making a lot of sense. It's not your fault. You've seen this a lot. I use that phrase very sparingly. It's in every video sales letter that I've ever seen in one formation or another. I use this. In weight loss, I can tell you right now, if you don't mind sharing this, if you do, it's perfectly fine. No one can see you anyway. But if you want to share this, just raise your hand or say yes if you've ever struggled with weight loss. And I'm not going to get into weight loss here. I'm just going to give this as an example. So I guarantee you we're going to have at least 200 yeses on that, because most people have. And if I was to tell you that your weight loss, the majority of your weight loss was not your fault, you would probably breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief and not believe me. You know, but if I explain that in detail and say, well, this is the reason why it's not your fault. So you've been bombarded since by the time you weren't even old enough to remember, but you were being bombarded by commercials from McDonald's and Wendy's telling you to eat hamburgers and french fries, and your subconscious mind, which is more powerful than your conscious mind, takes control of that. And your subconscious mind is the predictor of hormones, and what that means is it creates hormones like ghrelin. And ghrelin is the hunger hormone, and we just found out in the study that ghrelin is 4 to 6 times more prominent in people who are obese. So there's a hormonal connection to this. So I make a categorical medical, in this case for people, it not being that you're lazy, stupid, that you're a pig, as I've heard people call themselves. No. But what I do say is this, and I want you to get this. I say it's not your fault, but now that you know all this information, it's damn sure your responsibility. And it is. And that, my friend, is the difference between success and failure. It's when you recognize, as you all are tonight, that the difference between, it's not your fault your page isn't converting right because you didn't know a lot of this stuff. It's going to be your responsibility by the end of this webinar, because now you know. So responsibility is empowering. It makes your life go pow, man. But blame is worthless. Does that make sense? So don't blame. And I don't think you should blame, period, from a human perspective, but don't blame in your copy. Try to understand and make sure that your reader knows it's not their fault, but it is their responsibility. And this is the whole key. The key is to strategically enter into the state of rapport with your prospect. That's pretty obvious by everything that I've been saying. So let's get to the big problem. That's step number 3. Everyone on this call has a problem. Okay? Most people have more than one. I know I do. The problem we're talking about tonight is your sales copy. Or if you don't have a product, is that what the hell am I going to do with my life on the internet? And when I figure that out, I know I need sales copy. Okay, so no matter what it is, sales copy is your problem. Now, the big problem section, and the reason it's called big problem is because good video sales letters don't just say, you know, I know that your sales copy isn't where you want it to be. And I know that you'd like to have better sales copy. That's not the problem. That's a description of part of the problem. But what if I put it to you this way? Let me tell you what your poor sales copy is doing. It's ruining your children's future. Right now, you could be earning more money than your children will ever need to go to college simply by changing a few words on a freaking web page. Now look, it's not your fault that you don't know how to do this because no one's ever told you before, but I'm going to show you how. And then it will be your responsibility to take action. That's a big freaking problem, isn't it? You know, and if you don't have kids, you can take this. Now, what I would do is list off 4 or 5 big problems with not having sales copy. That probably makes a lot of sense to people. It resonates with because it's real, and that is your real problem. That's the actual problem. The problem of not having qualified sales copy, or not losing weight, or not having financial security, or not having a pet care thing that works for your dog isn't just that the dog poops. It's that the dog ruins your expensive furniture and takes stress out of your marriage. Do you see where I'm going with this? I am making the problem intimate and bigger. That's why it's called the big problem. Does that make sense? Everyone say yes, that makes sense, please. So I want you to really think about this in your copywriting. Make the problem bigger, okay? Don't lie about it. Just expand on how severe the problem is, because most people don't relate to how big it really is. And I also want you to do something else. I love creating a villain, and I love telling stories, so that's coming from my storytelling thing. And I call this the conspiracy theory. Every product has some sort of villain behind it. Well, let me tell you, weight loss is easy. The villain is the media. How many people agree with me? The villain is the media. Ladies on the call, please say yes if you think that the media portrays women in an unrealistic fashion. Just say yes. Guys, you can say yes too, because let me tell you, it's the most absurd thing in the world. I live in Malibu, okay, so you can just imagine how many people, how many insanely improbable females that you see here, you know, trying to be improbable, trying to live up to something.
Absolutely. And if it's not the media, then it's the not just the fast food industry, but the food industry in general. I mean, there's so much stuff that goes on in the food industry. It's not funny, especially in the processed foods area. It makes it almost impossible.
You know, it's totally impossible. And you know what the real villain is in copywriting? Now you would think that, oh, sales copy, there's no villain there. Yes, there is. And it's really kind of an interesting villain, because everyone who makes a lot of money designing websites wants to tell you that your problem is how pretty your website is. And they want you to spend 5 to 15 grand to make your website look, quote unquote, more professional. Well, screw professional, man. I don't care about professional. I care about results. I don't know about you. That's what I'm interested in. I am a direct marketer. I care about results. I don't care about what someone perceives as professionalism, because that is a perception that's simply too vague to define. What I care about is results and communication and rapport. Doesn't that make sense? So I've created a villain, and the villain is very easy to create. In any product, and we'll get to this in the Q&A section, if you don't think your product has a villain, throw it at me. I'll create one for you. Because it is a lot of fun. Because let me tell you, when you start telling your prospect, look, you know, there's the big reason why you're not having success with this, and it's not what you think. It's the entertainment industry. They're going, what? It tells an interesting story. Yeah, the entertainment industry, and tell the story. That also relieves the stress and the guilt. Because let me tell you, no one purchases something in a state of guilt. They purchase something in a state of hope. They have no hope. There is no sale. Now, I don't believe in selling false hope at all. What I'm stating is that everyone has to have hope that, yes, this may work for me. Or even better, this probably will work for me. That's awesome. That's the state I like to put people in. So to do that, you must describe that they are not the problem. Because if they think they are the problem, they don't have the rational decision-making capacity to say, yes, I'm going to take a chance on solving the problem. But it's very important for people to understand that they're not the problem. And this isn't marketing bullshit. This is the truth. You're not the problem. The problem is a lack of information. You just haven't had the right information until now. And you've been misled by some people that have told you that this is more important than that. Or the big one I love, traffic. Because traffic is where the big bucks is, pal. This is where the big bucks are, okay? You know, Google makes a lot of money on traffic, needless to say. And they would love to convince you that your Google ad spend is too low, or that your Facebook media buys are too low. That's your problem. Social media, that's it. No, it's not. No. I've never bought a dime of traffic. Never. Let other people do that for you. It's much easier. On to the fourth step, the bigger solution. Why is it the bigger solution? Because no matter how big that problem is, and believe you me, I made that problem really freaking big, I have a bigger solution. It's the solution to the problem that's bigger than you thought, and it's a huge solution. It is the answer because I have slain your villain. This is what I'm going to do. I have completely destroyed the influence of the media and the entertainment industry on your perception of your reality. I did it inside the sales copy. So I've basically slain the villain in the sales copy. And then I'm going to give you a formula, or in this case it would be, in my fictitious example, a diet or an exercise plan that will solve the other problems that you face, such as time constraints, such as discipline and willpower. What if all those could be erased? Well, now I've really slain the villain. Do you see what I've done here? The answer is always simple, by the way. And what I'm going to show you is just, trust me, it's as simple as it gets. But simple does not mean easy, and I want to make that very clear. I don't like it when someone says something is easy, unless it really is easy. Copywriting, even if you click a mouse, you still have to turn on your computer. You still have to decide on which phrase of copy you like, and then edit a few words to make it fit your product. Well, okay, so that sounds, okay, that really does sound pretty easy. But yeah, but you know, going through a whole process, spending a few hours doing something isn't easy. What I consider easy is falling asleep. That's easy. Sitting down in a chair, pretty easy. Simple is not easy. I like to make things as simple as possible. Don't you think that's fair? How many people think it's fair to say, I've made this as simple as humanly possible? That's my promise to you. What do you think? That's fair. And I want you to say that in your products, if you have. And I'm going to be sure that your product does answer this. But if your product or service is making things simpler for people, just say, look, whatever it could be. I'm going to make up something completely fictional. Selling cell phones is not easy. But I've made it as easy as it gets. That's a fair cop, if you ask me. Okay, finally we get to the grand offer. And this is the close. The absolute most important step of any video sales letter, of any sales page, of anything sales-wise, is the close. And I call it the grand offer because you're going to offer them something grand, something magnificent. It's going to be an irresistible grand offer. And if you screw this up, your conversion's gone. It doesn't. You could tell the best stories, you could have the best nightmare story, the best dream stories, the best tips, and you do this wrong and it's gone. So this is very, very, very important. Here's where you eliminate decision. You eliminate the decision to buy and you replace that with a desire to buy. It's a desire. I have to have this. This is not an optional purchase. This is something that I need, and I need it now because it's going to make my life happier. Because it's going to give me X, Y, and Z, and that makes me happy. One of the main reasons I showed you the slide with me and my wife and the joy, and that wasn't fake, by the way. I actually teared up there for a moment because I literally just created that slide yesterday. And I just grabbed the images, and I wanted to do a really special webinar for Mark. And he said, well, here's what my audience is like. I said, well, I really want to emphasize this one part. And I hadn't seen those pictures since our honeymoon. It was like, wow, I mean, that just really hit me. And it hit me how happy we are. Now, that desire is fueled by the fact that I know that when I buy something for the family, whether it's, believe me, I spend a lot of money on marketing courses. We're going to Evan Pagan's Accelerate. In fact, I'm speaking at Evan Pagan's Accelerate event, but we were going to buy it until he invited me to speak because it's fantastic marketing training. Why wouldn't you go? The reason I invest $5,000 or $10,000 in that is because I know it's going to give my family back tenfold, and that makes me happy. And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to buy something because it looks cool. I don't want you to buy something because you might use it in 6 months. I want you to buy something, use it, make your life better, and get happier. Because that's what it's all about. It's about being happier. When you're happier, you can fulfill more of your dreams, and you just become a cool person to be around. And I think that's pretty cool. Now, look, that's too much to cover the grand offer today. I would love to go into it. It's just way too long, but I'm going to show you how you can get all of that information step by step. It's 6 parts to the grand offer, so it's pretty laborious. But I would rather do this. How would you like to see this live? I'm going to show of hands if you want to see this live. I'll do it live, meaning there's no, it could even screw up. Who knows? How would you like to see a tool that could do all this for you? Everyone say yes that wants to see a tool. Mark, you'll have to tell me what people are saying.
Oh, there's a load of people saying yes, definitely, hell yeah, yes, 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 let's see it, yes. Let's see it, please, let's see it, yes, 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 okay. Yes, a big long yes, absolutely, yes, yes, yes. And a lot of courses, bring it on, and yes, and freaking yes.
I'll take your word for it. Okay, Notice down here, I've got it ready. Marketing webinar. And I'm going to show you something really kind of cool because this isn't the only video sales letter. This is the 3X Vsl Generator. This contains everything I've been talking about right here. The 3X VSL course, it used to be 40 hours long. Sorry. It is now significantly shorter. It's going to take you a couple of days to get through all the videos if you decide to watch them all. And I hope that you do. But what I've done is broken them into chunks. This is one of the longer ones. It's 30 minutes long. I know that's scary, but as you'll see, going to this, it takes you step by step through every single part of the formula. All you do is you click this button, it will load the next video, and this video is 1 minute and 40 seconds. So what I've done is taken a year of time, taken all the tutorial videos, broken them down into bite-sized chunks, so every slide of every section of every step has its own short tutorial videos. It's really quite remarkable. All you do is click and start. Remember that pattern interrupt with the fish? I teach you where that came from in this video. And once you learn where it comes from, you can do this. You select slides that you like. And all you have to do is select a slide. So I'm just going to select this one and say, let's say that I'm doing this from a third person. So I'm not the one writing it, it's Mark. Hi, I'm Mark. And what you're looking at right now is, I would say, let's say that I did Mark's horror story and that I knew that Mark got into personal development when he had a real big scare with a monkey. He was at a zoo and a monkey scared him, and it made him really realize that he had fear issues. I'm making this up entirely. So, cool. And this is an angry monkey. I never said I could type. I'm typing over a microphone. Pretty weird, right? So what I would do here is I would put a picture of an angry monkey. It's pretty simple. I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to hit Save and New, and I'm going to go to my next slide, slide 2. And I'll explain what I mean in a few minutes. I could keep it just like that. Save and New. Go to the next slide. Believe it or not, this odd little monkey is your golden ticket to achieving what I want to write about. And let's say achieving the ultimate you. Let's say this is a personal development product, okay? Click, continue to next section. Yeah. I am done with
it. Could have been ultimate wealth and life success, or it could have been whatever.
Could have been anything.
Yeah.
Could have been anything. So check this out over here, guys. You're probably wondering, okay, that's great, but VSLs are done in PowerPoint or Keynote, right? Yeah, they are. But here, in this one, they're done right here. Every section broken out to where you don't have to guess where it's at. Here's the slides right here. I can see this tool. I can move them around if I want. I can edit them if I want. I can zoom up on them if I want. And when I am done with all of this, all I have to do is click this button. And that creates a PowerPoint file on the fly that is formatted and ready. And all you have to do is bold the words you like and add a few images, and your VSL is done. Now, I just did one step of step 1, the snap suggestion, so I'll show you some more. This also comes with a complete library of the power words and anchor terms. They're called anchor terms in NLP that I know work fantastic. So look at all these. I mean, you'll just never need a dictionary because these are the words that you're going to want to use. Okay, and whenever you want to write your own copy, you can. I can write anything I want here. I can say, I am freelancing this. Fine, it doesn't matter. Or if I want to use the generator copy, I choose an example. And notice how many examples you get. I give you multiple examples. There's usually anywhere between 3 and 9 examples per slide that you can literally click and choose, but I encourage you to edit them slightly using this library up here so that everything comes out unique. It's a formula though, so you don't want to edit it too much. So watch this presentation to the very end and you'll discover, notice I'm freelancing this, so discover, and I'll go to Save and New. Since there's only one slide here, I click continue to the next section and it loads the next tutorial video and I'm off to the races and I can just go this fast. So this is how fast it loads. So I'm going to listen to the video. This one's 3 minutes long. I click the video to play it.
You're going to go back to one of your tips.
And the tutorial starts. So it just gets right into exactly how to do it. I have a tip formula that's explained right here. And the tip formula, you can select, see how many, look how many different varieties of tips you can use. I give you formulas. So enjoy more benefit and benefit without sacrificing your negatives. Example slides below. So this is what the generator does. It allows you to structure things after watching the video, where I explain to you what a benefit is, and in this section over here, the getting started section, you actually build your benefits in the notepad assignments. You see this 2 stories, 3 tips, 4 comparisons. This is your benefits right here, the tips. So you've already got all this written. All you have to do is click over here, copy it, and paste it in. So I take you through step by step how you break down a video sales letter and how to think through it. So you never ever ever have to think about what comes next. All you have to do is know what a benefit is. If it's personal development, you can say enjoy more peace of mind. And what would be another? Someone type in what would be another benefit of a personal development program. Just type in Mark and shout out the first thing that comes in. Mark, you with me?
Yep. Sorry. I see confidence, self-confidence, confidence, wealth. Sorry, what were you asking me? Sorry, I was just got distracted by a staff member there.
No problem. So I was just asking you to give me an example without sacrificing. I'm asking other people. What I'm doing is getting everyone to write a video sales letter with me, and we're going to do it in a matter of minutes.
Okay, enjoy more peace of mind and confidence without sacrificing your
What would be something you would sacrifice in developing personal in growing
without
personal
sacrificing your your own personality or your valuable time, as somebody else has said, or without sacrificing your sanity.
There you go.
Yep.
That's it. Now everyone listening could write that. There was no great grandiose copy in there at all. The grandiose copy is done for you. Let me show you. Every slide in every section is loaded with trigger words that are, well, they're called anti-trigger words actually. They're words that spark trigger rather than create trigger. In other words, they get people to react rather than get defensive. There's lots of NLP anchor terms. Look at this right here. Let's look at one slide at a time. I'm Mark, and what you're looking at right now, do you know what that is? That is an NLP command. Looking at right now. You don't know what I'm doing because you don't have to know. That's the point. I am laying a command down to the reader to look at something right now. Do you see? Okay, this is how ninja this is. And if you don't believe for any reason that this ninja stuff works, I have a plethora of data to share with you because we've tested this literally 10,000 times to know it works. So everything, even little things. I'll explain what I mean in just a few minutes. Okay, in just a few minutes rather than a few minutes. Believe it or not, the word odd is an NLP trigger term. Odd little monkey is your golden ticket to achieving the ultimate. And the golden ticket is, so all these cool copy phrases are built in, and you can choose any one of these. Like if you wanted to edit golden ticket and choose something else, you could just click here and say, I like it's your, you can say whatever you want, your magic pathway. Your magical path. Do you see how easy this is? Where could I get that from? Right here. I could find all of this right here. Magic. So, oh, magic. That's good. Magic. Killer. Know-how. All inside the library. Now, I know this is cool, but it gets way cooler. Let me save this and go over here. So now that I've got this, let's say I'm in this section and I'm listening to this 30-minute video on pattern interrupt, and I go, you know what? I'm a little confused on pattern interrupts. I want to make a note. Watch what happens. The notes section pulls up where you are inside the generator. So when you make a note, you just go, remember this. And when you pull up that note, next time you pull it up, not only will it remember where you're at, it will tell you the exact place to go to apply that note. You can print your notes, everything's here. So all you do is you go step by step, literally. You just step by step into the next step, video scarcity. Look at all these slides. Take your pick. These are some killer ones. I'm getting pressure from Google, the media, the powers that be. I literally do get pressure from Google on some of my stuff to take down this free presentation. I get pressure from a lot of people, like media and magazines, so that's a great line. I'm giving away so much valuable content that I cannot keep this presentation free much longer. What am I doing here? I'm building in scarcity. Now, if I want to keep it free forever, I wouldn't say this. So I might say I may not keep this free forever. This is how easy it is to create a video sales letter using the generator. Each section has its own tutorial, and check this out. As you can see, you can create as many as you want. And all you do to select the one is you just click it. You can copy it, you can delete it, of course, you can create a new video sales letter from scratch. And what I do is when I have a winning video sales letter, the reason I love this copy tool is I would select it, copy it, and presto. I know I've got something that works, and I can just change a few key details. Now, how many people think this is pretty incredibly powerful? Just say yes, because it is. I want you to look at one more section, and then I'm going to take you into one more thing here. The nightmare story. Remember I told you my own nightmare story? I started off in dismal luck on YouTube, and I didn't shave for a week. Where did I get that? I got it right here. from the Nightmare Story Overview Formula, the 4-minute video that tells you about how to do the Nightmare Story. And I ask you when you're getting in the Getting Started session to actually start your Nightmare Story, to writing notes about it, but this puts it all together for you. Then I go to the next section, and it's literally broken down. When was it? Conditions. What were you wearing? Who were you with? Who? And all of them are, you've got all the copy slides right here. You can just choose an example and change the date. Choose an example and change what you were wearing. And you don't have to include all of those. I'm giving you the longest Nightmare Story that you would ever want to create, and then you can trim it down to whatever you want. You could even have a few slides of a Nightmare Story. You know, I used to be obese. I was really sick. I even had a heart attack when I was in my 30s. And I had heart disease into my 40s until I discovered what I'm about to share with you today. Boom, done. Nightmare Story. But I wouldn't know any of that stuff, and I wouldn't know where to put it if it wasn't for this, because it needs to come right after a modest introduction. I'm going to show you this and see if this rings any bells. I wasn't always an example of expertise. Look at this one. Before we begin, I get a typo here. Let me assure you, I wasn't always this go-to guy or gal. I would say guy, of course, when it comes to copywriting. In fact, I was anything but done. If I wanted to be done that quick, I'm done. I know this copy works, and it works repeatedly. It mesmerizes people. If I wanted to get creative, I could do that too. I could go back, I can enter a new slide here. I could say, in fact, this is the craziest story that you'll ever hear. You will get so inspired watching these videos that your videos will look and sound completely different than someone else that went through the 3x Vsl Generator. It's crazy. I mean, I saw a video the other day. A guy said, I went through the generator. Here's what I created. And I could barely tell. I had to look for each of the 5 segments. He got that creative. He's not a copywriter. And it was brilliant. Converted at 5%. That's a phenomenal conversion rate. So this is what the generator does. It gives you the entire 3x Vsl course. That's very important. The course alone, by itself, as you're soon going to see, it is expensive for people to go through. And they pay good money to go through it because it changes their entire marketing structure. Not just video sales letters, sales pages, blog pages, emails, subject lines, you name it, it's all covered in here. Plus you get a ton of bonuses. You get a lot of cool stuff in here. Exactly how to produce your video sales letter. If you're worried about how to speak it, here it is. How to record it, here it is. How to put it up online, here it is, here it is. All done for you, very simple, making it as easy as humanly possible. So the course is all right here condensed into these little sections. But as you can see, these little sections, here's the 6 parts of the grant offer. They are broken down to this level of degree. Look at this. So you don't even, it's only one slide. I break things down that simple. There's one slide I want you to create. You insert your USP here, and your USP is found right here. Right there. So all you do is cut and paste and put your USP in. It's that simple. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because notice how when I get to certain sections, it refers back to this Getting Started section, because most copywriters don't know this, and most people who write copy never know this. But you don't write copy like the same way you climb a mountain is the same way you write copy. No one climbs a mountain from the base that goes straight up, right? You know, if you heard that you have to climb a mountain and go around, you don't go straight up. You don't write copy from the beginning to the end. There are these factors that have to be written first. Your USP factory, all that is what makes your product unique, and I give you a formula inside, like everything is formulated. See how it's all formulated? This is all the formulas that you'll use. You just change your benefits to meet your product, to meet and still master X, for example, whatever X would be for yours. This is the formula right here. This is it. So I have a formula for your USP, what makes your product unique. You're going to need to know that throughout your video sales letter. You create your 2 stories right here. You put your notes in for the stories, and you listen to this 23-minute video on how to create a story. How many people think storytelling is important? In copywriting, storytelling is vitally important, but you need to know how to tell a story. So how do you learn to tell a story? Guess what? There's a formula for it. That's what we've done here. We've dissected every little thing, and so when you get through this entire thing one time, from there on out, each video will take you anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours. I budget 90 minutes to do a video sales letter now. It used to take me a week. And I'm a copywriter. So this is how powerful this tool is. There's a lot more features in this tool that I could show you. Of course, I could show you all the print features, all the stuff. I'll show you just one more thing here. I'm going to click PowerPoint slide, and I'm going to show you something really amazing. What that just did is this. I've got my screen. I apologize. What that just did is this. Does that look familiar? Hi, I'm Mark, and what you're looking at right now is an angry monkey. All I would do is put a picture of an angry monkey in here in PowerPoint. That's it. It takes me 3 seconds to do that. This is your video sales letter. I'll explain what I mean in just a few minutes. Believe it or not, this odd little monkey, it's done. All you need to do is use my NLP Subliminal highlighting technique, which I have a whole video on, which teaches you what words to make bold and red. Believe it or not, the words you make bold and red make all the difference in the world in your sales, and there's an entire video dedicated to it. That's all you do in PowerPoint. Bold, red, italicize, and add graphics. That's it. 95% of your time in PowerPoint gone. 99% of your typing gone. Eliminated. Completely history. And that is what makes this an incredible tool. How many people think that's an incredible tool? Say yes if you think this is an incredible tool. A tool that could make you money. It's great that the software is great, but I want to see how many people know this can make money, because this is going to make everyone that uses it money. It hasn't failed once. So I have a very bold and audacious thing to state. I have no refunds for this product. None. Zero. I offer an insane, which you're about to see, guarantee. I pay you money if it doesn't work. How many people are interested in that? And I have no refunds. Pretty cool, huh? I think it's pretty cool. Well, I want to show you more about this. Now, let me get into this, so if you don't mind if I continue. Now that we've seen what the generator can do, I'm going to pop back out of here, and I'm going to continue on with our webinar. So right now, you have two choices. And those two choices are pretty simple. You can take what you've learned today, which I hope has been a ton. How many people have learned a ton? Please tell me you learned a ton. Everybody say that I learned a lot about marketing would make me very happy, because if I didn't do my job, let me know. I'm going to stick around longer, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the question and answers as long as it takes. Let me know if I did a good job. Let me know if you guys learned something. Mark, what are...
They're saying, yes, brilliant, bro. Tons, learned a lot. Yeah, it was fantastic. Major tonnage, learned a lot. Loads was great. I learned a ton today, 100%. Yes, learned a lot. Great job, buddy. I learned a lot, of, even though I've already been selling for over 40 years. Yes, definitely yes. Excellent. Great job, great content, awesome. Excellent job, fantastic. And many other yeses.
Thank you so much. Thank you kindly. Thank you so much for that. And do me a favor, please, if you have a question, write it down. If I didn't cover something and that you want to know what it is, let me know. If Mark has the time, I'll make the time and I'll answer the questions. Now, you can do that. You can take what you've learned today, which I hope is a lot, and you can basically hope you get the combination right. And it's basically like winning the lottery. It is. I would love to tell you otherwise, but it's not. Or I'd love to see you enroll today in the 3X Vsl course, and I'll give you the generator, so that you can start creating this automatic sales copy for yourself. It is words that get cash. That's the best way to explain it. And as I've dissected just from a few slides, the average video sales letter has 275 slides in it. 275 slides. Imagine if every slide had those power words, those NLP phrases, those anchor terms, those drop phrases, the phrases that I know get money, that work to convert. Imagine how powerful that would be for you. That's what this does. And it is written by one of the top copywriter in the world right now for video sales letters, and you get access to that. And guess what? If you think that's all the copy there is, guess again. Every month I add new slides. All the slides get new. Everything I do that works in the real world, I add. So you'll have 3, and then all of a sudden you'll see 6. So I will keep it coming. This is an evolving product. We have had, since the generator came out, we started at 2.0. It's 2.4. I don't know how many people noticed that. 4 huge updates since the generator came out 6 weeks ago. 7 weeks ago, excuse me, 7 weeks ago. So we are not lazy. I want to go back over what you get, okay? I want to give you the complete 3X VSL training course. If you look at the numbers, you'll see what this corresponds to. Now that you know what the
VSL stands for Video Sales Letter, for those that have asked.
Yes, Video Sales Letter. VSL stands for Video Sales Letter. It's just an easier way to say it. 3X. Why 3X? People have asked that too. 3X is because it triples your conversions. The average person has triple. Some get double. I won't lie to you, some only get double. Some, at the lowest that I've heard anyone get is 40%. But they were getting a lot of cold traffic. So 40% to them meant an extra $2.5 million a month. So they were pretty freaking happy. So, it's hard to beat that, right? So, but on the other hand, I've heard 1,200%. I'm not going to say that because 1,200% is off the chart. That means that their original sales letter was horrible or they didn't have one or something. So the average is 3. So I call it 3X. It triples conversions. Video sales letter training course. The retail value of this is really $19.97. That's what I sell the course alone for. I've done it for 3 years. Ask anyone that's bought it. $19.97. That's what it sells for. It's been narrowed down to 12 hours, and I've given you the extra video footage as bonuses, so you can have all 40 hours if you're really sadomasochistic and love to just torture yourself with great marketing information. I'm that kind of a geek, so I love that. So it's slide-by-slide video tutorials. You know, I'm going to tell you how you can fast track your VSL. I'm going to tell you how you can get it, how you basically can take VSLs and sell them to other people. That's really awesome. And this course alone, just the course, is made people literally tens of millions of dollars. Just my particular course, not the formula has made billions, but this course has made tens of millions of dollars in revenue. So the next thing you get is the 3x Vsl Generator mini tutorials. That's $497 if I give just people just those mini 1-minute videos, 3-minute videos, just those are valued at $497 because it gives you the secret ninja copy tactics, and they're all psychological. They're all based on psychology of sales. The psychology of sales is a unique and fascinating study. It's one that I've devoted years and years of my life to, one that I can honestly say I don't know of very many people that have studied it more at this point. There probably is, guys that are older than me, but this is some really cutting-edge stuff. I think that you will really love it. And you can apply this anywhere. Blog pages, written text pages, emails, subject lines, everything works. It also comes with Power Slides. That's the web-based PowerPoint creator that I showed you. That's $297 value to basically take what is inside of a web app and put it into PowerPoint with a click of the button. Okay, auto notes feature, that's $297, so you don't have to mess with notes. And believe it or not, that was one of the #1 complaints I received from the original course. They hated going back and forth between Word. They had like 18 pages of Word notes. And they're like, man, if these notes could be integrated, that would be so awesome. Well, so we built the tool. And we actually sell the tool separately for $297. Point-click PowerPoint is $597 to create an automatic PowerPoint file for you. You get that inside the generator, and unlimited video sales letter creation. If you look down at the bottom, look at all those video sales letters. I could keep going. I can create 5,000 of them if I want. How awesome is that if you want to sell video sales letters to people? Eh? It's pretty awesome, okay? So the other thing you get is the VSL tester tool that allows you to copy a test and compare against an existing video sales letter. So in most comparative software is expensive. This one's $497, so you can copy, compare, change things, or just create a template that you really, really like. You also get what I call the cheat sheet overviews. It's $97. Just every page has got a documentation of cheat sheets right up here that gives you, in case you don't have time to listen to the video, you can just read the cheat sheet. Or if you've gone through the course before and you come back, check out the cheat sheet. It makes it go so much faster. So this is going to give you your exact assignment for that particular slide. The most valuable part of this is the automatic sales copy. Obviously, you know, I've written sales copy for you, and I'm going to continue writing sales copy for you. In fact, we're even getting other copywriters to donate sales copy that I approve, of course. So you're going to be flooded with the best copywriting available anywhere, period. And that's worth $2,997. That's what I charge for this, basically the entire generator by itself, without any training whatsoever. So think of it that way. It's pretty easy. When I say it cannot get any easier than this, it's true. Writing copy is not easy, but this, as you can tell, is as easy as it could possibly ever get. And finally, this comes with a generator. You can now move and slide. You can edit everything you want in the slides. You can drag. You can drop. It's a pretty amazing feature for a very first time out generator. Pretty amazing. We've got big plans for the future too, so you want to stick around. It's the only tool out there that makes VSL creation simple, concise, convenient, and fast. So I want you to have a look at what the retail value of all this comes to. We got the complete training course that's $1997. You've got the 3x Vsl Generator mini tutorials at $497. Power Slides web-based PowerPoint creator at $297. The auto notes feature at $297. Believe it or not, that's the best $297 most people claim that they spend because when they add that on, it's like, my gosh, makes the note. You will take a ton of notes, trust me. Point-click PowerPoint, $597, instant PowerPoint file, unlimited VSL creation. You can create as many as you want. You can give a license where you don't have that. You don't want that because once you duplicate one, you have to pay extra for it. So we'll give you unlimited for $997. VSL tester tool for $497, so you can test and compare. And the cheat sheet overviews are $97. And finally, automatic sales copy. It's $29.97. It's a hefty price tag, $8,273 plus $297 a month to access the software. Now, how many people know they're going to get a better deal? Say yes. Yes, you should know you're going to get a better deal. I'm giving you what the retail is. I'm giving you what we sell stuff for off the shelf if people buy this independently of each other. We have a much better deal coming for you. Okay, but I'm going to be honest, considering the fact that just one video sales letter, as you've seen, can net you 2 to 100 times that amount in income. Come on, that price is a steal. I mean, I'm being completely, absolutely honest with you. Robin Robbins, Google her if you want to, one of the most famous female marketers in the world, said she would pay me $100,000 for the software. That's how much it's made her. Easily, $100,000. You should charge $100,000 and sell it to 10 people. That's what you should do.
I actually bought 2 copies of the software. I didn't just pay once, I paid twice so that I could have one of my staff members using the software as well. That's how valuable I think that this is.
And Mark is not the only one. There's a lot of people that do that. They buy multiple memberships. And the reason why is because it works.
Now, I'll just want to be clear, though. I mean, John said that I can have one other person use the software anyway. So basically, you could use it for yourself and a staff member. But the thing is, I wanted myself to use it. I wanted one staff member to use it. And then I had another staff member that I wanted as well. So I had to buy the extra license. That's why I did it that way.
Yes. So yes, you can allow it to separate. In fact, I want more than one person to be able to log in and use it. You're allowed 3 logins, or devices, or browsers. So it's kind of cool because, in case you're wondering, it's iPad friendly. Yeah, our very first rendition, you can write a video sales letter on your freaking iPad. How cool is that? Now, for the record, let me just get this straight. I charge no less than $30,000. As you've heard, my current rate off the street is $50,000 to do exactly what you just saw me do, only complete the whole thing. $50,000. That's what I charge. And if I were to teach you this formula live without the generator, in other words, if I teach you the entire formula, that's that course that you're going to go through, you'd pay between $4,500 and $10,000 to do it. And why do I know that? Because that's exactly what I've done many times. When I teach this, it's that expensive. It's worth that much money. I'm not greedy. I'm just good. And I make people a lot of money, so I feel very, very good about that. But I want to tell you the truth. Mark is not only a good friend of mine, he's also a customer, as he just said. I had no idea he was going to say that, so thank you, Mark. And I do treat my customers like family. As you will find out, I treat you like family. So I have a much better deal coming your way. I want to sweeten it a little bit because I want to add some radical value-added bonuses. I like radical bonuses. Check this one out. The tips tutorial videos. Okay, you're saying, oh, big deal. You're going to show me how to create tips? Yes, because if you do this right, you will sell like crazy. Information marketing is the catchphrase that's being used right now in 2013. You're going to hear it a lot in 2014. Info marketing means something totally different than it used to. It is selling through giving information. It is teaching to sell. I believe in teaching to sell, and I created a tip formula that I am going to give you the Q&A live with some of the best marketers in the world and how to formulate these tips in a specific way to get the most impact from your prospect. So I sell that by itself for $197. It's yours for free. And I also want to give you case studies. How many of you enjoy watching other people do the stuff you're interested in? Just say yes. How many people find that helpful? Like if you're trying to learn something, if you could look over someone's shoulder and see them do it, is that helpful? If that's helpful, just say yes, because I find that very, 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 very helpful. So what we've done is created case studies. Case studies that we want to basically, I'm listening to people saying, here's what I'm doing with my VSL, and I'm going to just basically tell them how I would position it differently. And this is $97. It's for 45 minutes, but that 45 minutes makes people a lot of money. It's really cool. And actually, I just put one. And then I've got a free mystery bonus. I've got 7 other videos that's retail value about $497, give or take. The 3X vocal tonality technique is the one that I sell the most, and that teaches anyone how to use their voice in a specific way to read and enunciate a VSL. You can have a voice like Pee Wee Herman on Helium and still have a profitable VSL. Amanda, my assistant, who just did the VSL on her own without any help from me, and out-converted a proven text-based sales page that my wife wrote 2 years ago, doubled the conversions, has a voice like a little girl. We thought, okay, this is going to be ingratiating to hear. No, it still worked. It still works. So if we added a different voice, it would work even better. I'm going to give you 7 mystery bonus videos. There are all kinds of cool stuff in here. Plus how you can upload your VSL in a matter of hours. Cool tricks. Plus a super bonus. If you're a newbie, you need to stick around for this one because Mark had to twist my arm a little bit to do this one. It was something I had planning to do. I wasn't going to do it as soon as I'm going to do it, but just wait till you see what it is. It's mind-blowing. If you know Joel Marion, Underground Marketer of the Year, he uses this. Strategies have been worth millions of dollars to his business. He owns BioTrust. But it works for everyone. This guy sells dog food, teaches dog tricks. He uses the 3X VSL course. Notice how he says, it's so easy. It's been easy to lay out. It's simple, easy to use. It's cool. It's fun. These are the comments that I hear the most often and that I like to share with people because it's great that they make money, but I want you to enjoy the process of doing it. Dean Graziosi is on television every day for 13 years. He is one of the biggest infomarketers in the world. He does more infomercials than anyone. He has a multi-million-dollar, $200 million real estate company. He used the 3X VSL formula that I'm going to give you for free. This is one of those mystery bonuses. I'm just going to tell you what it is. It's called the robotic close. And he uses this to close from the stage and on a webinar, by the way. And he did it, and he took his profit from $260,000 to $400,000 profit in a room full of 136 people. Pretty impressive. And Mariel Hemingway, yes, this works for famous people too. Mariel is a good friend, and I love the fact that she's so cool, by the way. But she's using the 3X stuff on her website, and just to really convey how awesome she is and get the message across that she wants people to live well and healthy. John Carlton, seriously, the most famous copywriter I personally know, I have him on video saying that I'm not only a savvy writer, that I'm on the cutting edge of marketing. John, thank you very much. I used to pray to you. Not really, I didn't. But Telman Knudsen, he says that he finds his brain melting from this stuff. 5- and 6-figure VSLs. So Ryan Dice, I can go on and on here. These are the most famous internet marketers in the world. Amy Barnhart, CEO of Have a Sweet Life. Andy Jenkins, he's the pretty video guy. Okay, Andy Jenkins is the guy that does all the pretty videos, but even he knows the power of ugly, quote-unquote, video sales letters. So the total value of all this now, when you add all this together, is coming to a pretty hefty little sum of about $9,000 plus the monthly fee. But I want you to stop the presses, because I have one more thing for you, and it's $19.97. If you think that's a joke, just wait and don't do it, and then you'll have to pay for it. If you're a newbie, you're going to want this. 28-day product creation formula. I'm going to teach this live, and this is not going to be a webinar unless you miss it, the live session. Only for people on this call tonight are going to be on this live. I have never offered this before. I may offer it on the webinar I do with Mike Hill next week. I may. I'm not sure. But you will get in live, meaning that you will hear. I will state the date if I have to, and you will know that it's live. But over the course of about 6 weeks, I'm going to teach you my 28-day formula. From not even knowing what you want to do online to having a literal, real, tangible product or service that you can make money with in 28 days or less. Depending on where you are, it could be significantly less. This is if you have no knowledge of even what you want to do, to making money online using your own product. So now you will have digital stock. And that's the greatest gift that I can give anyone, in my opinion, other than words that give cash. So there's no more excuses. There's no more wondering if you'll ever get started online, because you're going to have one of the top marketers in the world coach you live, 4 to 6 weeks, webinar special, live. And the rest of the world are going to pay $19.97 for it. And this is going to come out in September of 2013, but the only chance you have for the free ticket is if you pick up the formula in the generator here tonight through this webinar and before it closes. If you do that, you get in free. That brings the total value to over $11,000. However, since you've seen, and I think you've proven to me, because so many people, almost everyone that started the call is on the call, you obviously want and need something like this. You need a generator that helps you create words to get cash, so that price is not going to be for you. Not even close. Now, I'm going to make some ridiculous promises here, so hang with me. Tonight only, and only on this page, you're not going to pay $11,000 and $297 a month for the 3X system. And you're not going to pay half of that. Not even $4,000 plus those monthly fees. Tonight's webinar only price, $29.97 plus $297 a month to save you $8,000. And I know that sounds really pretty freaking good, and it is, but hang on. I really, really want to prove to you that this is the best investment that you can ever make. And when I say prove to you, I mean prove to you with cash. Okay? So, I also want you on my team. I have a whole team of winners. I have a whole team of guys out there that have gone from nothing, like Josh and like Dan, and like so many people I can think of at the top of my head, that are now making multi-millions. I would love to see at least 10 people on this call on that team. That would be an awesome goal for me. I really want you on the team. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to slash $1,000 off that price right off the top. And then, you know, the monthly fee, the reason why we have a monthly fee is because you can create multiple video sales letters and you access the generator and its bandwidth and all that stuff. It's a monthly fee for a reason. It's a tool that you use. And a lot of people use these generator VSLs and they sell them. So charging $297 a month to sell something for $5,000 is really good business. It's not going to be $297. And it's not going to be $197. And it's not going to be $97. I'm going to erase it. I'm going to give you the whole thing without ever charging you a monthly fee ever. Now, this is definitely not going to be the case when this launches live on the 23rd of July. So prepare for that. You will get no monthly fees. So that brings your price, your investment tonight, only to $1,997, and you save $9,000. Plus, you save the $297 a month. No monthly fees ever. And one more thing, I'm going to pay you $500 in cash if it doesn't work like magic for you. I don't know anyone that would be that ballsy of a guarantee. Maybe there are, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's pretty cool. I've never had to do it. Okay? I've never had to do it because I've never had a refund. But just in case, here's the 30-day guarantee that I want you to feel safe and secure and cozy, because I know how things are. You buy things on the internet, you get excited, and yeah, no, I don't want that for you, because I want to make sure I'm going to stay on top of you. I want to keep you going on this. I want to make sure that you stay motivated. I want you to see your first VSL out. So I want you to try the course for 30 days. You'll have plenty of time to create a video sales letter during that time. And if it doesn't double what you pay in 30 days, I'm going to refund every penny plus another $500. All I ask is that you show it to me. That's only fair. Show me your stats in your VSL, so don't make it up. And even if you don't do it, even if you don't do the video sales letter, you have an unexpected trip to Russia, and you for whatever reason can't write in Russian. If you want to refund the course for any reason, I'm going to gladly refund it in full without questions. And I know I can make that without hesitation because it just doesn't happen. So you may be the first, but hey, you've got it in case you are the first. And if you can prove to me it didn't work, I'll pay you $500. That is confidence. And the reason I know it works is because I've done it too long to know better. It works. Joe Polish, one of the most famous marketers in the world, says that he makes me the go-to guy. I've worked with Joe Polish on a dozen video sales letters. And someone was asking about financial. Jim Engel is actually a real estate marketer, and that's even more difficult than financial. And he's using 3X VSL to sell real estate, to sell houses, and his houses are like really pretty expensive. And he spent over $1 million in training over his years, as he says, and I win the best of the best awards. I feel pretty damn good about that. I love it when people say, I love the way you teach me. So it's great that they make money. I love that too. Don't get me wrong. I just really want to add value to the world. So that's my passion in life. I hope it's come across loud and clear. But here's what I want to do. If you order in 5 minutes, and I'm looking at the clock right now, 6:53, my time. 5 minutes. I want to give you one more bonus. And this is in case anyone's thinking, oh my gosh, okay, I know it's fast. I know it'll take me only 6 days or so, but okay, what if you want to go really, really, really fast? Well, I'm going to include the VSL Fast Track if you order within 5 minutes and the counter is going. The Fast Track is the fastest way to learn the VSL formula. It takes roughly 2 hours to get through. It's me speaking live in front of 30 of the top marketers in the world at Boardroom Incorporated. In that room, you will hear me addressing and answering questions during the Fast Track from the authors of the Porter Stansberry video sales letter, The End of America. Why would someone who is making $200 million on a video sales letter come to me for coaching? Because we made it more. That simple. You will listen to Joe Barton was there, Barton Publishing, blood pressure letter, makes 6 to 7 figures a year. We up that conversions 40%. You will hear, in that room are the top copywriters in the world. You got Vin DeCarlo in that room, Mike Schmidt in that room. I can go down the line of the people in that room. What's awesome is that they wanted the Fast Track as well. So I gave them six hours of in-depth study, which you can also get if you want that later. And then I broke it down into the Fast Track. And you're going to get that shot with 3 video cameras, high def, really awesome video. And you can watch the whole thing in 2 hours, and you'll have the whole 3X formula in your head, ready to go, and you can just start using the generator. If you really want to cut corners, I'll give this to you within 5 minutes. However, that clock is ticking, and see this clock down here at the bottom? I'm not kidding. It's ticking. Now we got 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Only the people that get in first get that. That's the only scarcity that I'm going to offer. I'm going to do that because I really want people to take action. And this is not something to think about. This is something just to do, because you know it works. You've seen it work. It's been proven. It's been tested. And you have common sense. So I want you in the club. So that's the offer, and I'm really excited to have you guys join me, because I will take good care of you too. I'm very, very emphatic about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's several questions coming in. By the way, just to let you know, and I'll get onto those in a moment.
Sure.
One of the questions that sort of comes in is just basically I've had a few people asking this question along the lines of like, why is it, if it's as good as what you say it is, and it seems pretty damn good, why is it only $2,000? Like, if it's basically someone's going to be able to use this, write a video, and basically you can either have clients that'll pay you $5,000 per video, or you're going to be able to get your own video converting and making lots of sales and thousands more dollars than that. Wouldn't you want to charge more for it than $2,000?
Oh, I have a master plan. Yes. The quote from Robin Robbins wasn't a joke. And then after she got off the $100,000 high horse, she said, look, if you sell it for under 10 grand, you're an idiot. And this is how Robin talks. If you know Robin, this is how she talks. And I'm not an idiot, but I did consider it. I really did. In fact, I had a long conversation. How many people, if you know Evan Pagan, say yes in the box, if you know who Evan Pagan is. Evan is one of the largest internet marketers in the world. He and I had a long conversation about this. It's hard to even talk to Evan. He is so busy. But he took an interest in this product because he sees the power of it, and he said that the price point was ridiculously low, and that I'd need to charge continuity. And I was not going to charge continuity. Talk to Evan. We are charging continuity now. You won't pay that continuity ever tonight if you get in.
Yeah,
because people will access it.
Just letting you know. Also, this is launching in a couple of days, so I'm basically getting John on the webinar early. Once it launches, it's actually going to be, several $1,000s more expensive, including the monthly fee. So, that's not going to be the case in the future at this price point, just to let you guys know. So, if I were you guys, and I am one of you guys, because I bought 2 copies of this. So I didn't just buy one, I bought 2 so that I had, several licenses for, for my staff as well as myself, then I would jump on it, especially knowing that if you write a VSL that doesn't make you money, John is going to give you not only your money back, he's giving you $500 on top. So, you don't get that kind of guarantee very often unless somebody is that confident.
It is confidence, and it's the track record speaks for itself. You got 25 seconds, by the way, so maybe people better jump. So if you want the fast track. So the other thing, the reason why is, first of all, there's going to be monthly continuity for everybody else. So the long investment for the client will be well over $10,000. Second of all, the real price of this that I'm selling from the stage is going to be at least $29.97, probably $39.97. I want to give Evan a discount, but it won't be this. And the monthly thing will be on top of that. So there's several reasons why, but the main reason why is really simple. I just cannot see how a course this powerful shouldn't be in the hands of any marketer that has a decent amount of enthusiasm and drive, enough to spend what he would normally spend on, a couple of car payments. That's just ridiculous. So I want to make this really, really, really as no-brainer as possible. And my big vision is to have a large community that we can build upon, and I want your input. I want more people saying, hey, here's what would make it better. Hey, I've written some really awesome copy. Will you consider including it in the generator? The more we have in this family, the more everyone benefits. If I made this exclusive and made it a $10,000 product, sure, I would have 200 of the top internet marketers in the world using it, but that's it. I wouldn't have anybody that was a startup. I wouldn't have anyone that was barely getting their product up there. And I want to help the people that are like getting $50 a week from their ebook sales, or haven't even started an ebook yet, or haven't started an info product yet. Those are the people that I really want to talk to, because again, the internet's going to double in the next 4 years. This is who this is really made for. So yes, the pros do have it. Yes, that's true. I mean, there's no lying about that. I mean, I've got a long list of pros using this, but the bottom line is I want to make it affordable for everybody. So this is what I've done, and I think this is a totally reasonable price to offer anyone that can take this and actually turn that around and make much more money than that with one video Salesletter, let alone 5. So that's what you do. Now, the URL that you go to get this is 3x VSL. That's 3x V as in Victor, S as in sales, L as in letter.com/ML. ML stands for Mark Ling. ML. Mark Ling has the discount. Only he is going to have the discount. So, and only he has all the components in the generator. So please make sure that you go to that specific URL.
Okay.
That will give you the discount.
Yeah, I also wanted to thank you so much, like, for making this a really good content-based webinar. I mean, you know, like the kind of webinars that I really hate being on are ones where all you get is a sales pitch for a product. But basically, what John's done is he's gone ahead and, for those of you that can't afford, this kind of program right now, then maybe you will have to pay a higher price for it in the future, but you've learned enough from this webinar to go ahead and start writing video sales letters. He's laid out the whole 5-step formula, and that's gold. Like, you've got to, I can't emphasize enough that you've got to take action with what you've learned. You've got to actually get out there and write one. Or even if you make mistakes, it doesn't matter. Like, the only way to learn is to actually get it out there and get some test results back, and you can learn from there. So, he's actually gone ahead and given the keys. He's given you the formula. But in saying that, if you want to make it a whole lot quicker and faster and easier, obviously you're going to want the software and the full-on training course that involves, the extra hours worth of training. And then that's where this comes in. So either way, this has been a great webinar. I've learnt lots, and I hope you guys have learnt lots as well. I'm noticing a lot of people are saying, great job. Thank you. It's another guy saying you did a great job. I'm one of your new customers. That's from Mike. Great stuff, John. Thank you. A lot of people saying that it's astonishing advice. This has been great advice, which is awesome. Which is awesome. I heard Richard asking, I've got visual skincare products. Would this help for that?
Oh, definitely. There's two guys right now using the 3X Vsl formula, not the generator, but the formula that have skincare products. And one of our products actually is a beauty product. It's not specifically for skincare, but we're actually adding a skincare upsell to that in the coming weeks, and we'll naturally be using the 3X Vsl formula to do it. The generator just makes it so much easier.
Be easy for a skincare product. I mean, just me thinking off the top of my head, if I was using it for a skincare product, then I wouldn't necessarily reveal that the product is a skincare product until later in the video. You could, but you could easily go ahead with a page that had some sort of attention-grabbing headline to do with maybe, because you could have some tips in there as well, to do with I don't know, it could be something like this as a headline. 3 weird but powerful tips on how to look 8 years younger. And then in brackets, these work shockingly well. Brackets. Something like that. And then, bam, you have your video sales letter, and you've got a few tips in there and all of that. And then you lead into the ultimate done-for-you solution, which is to go have that, go get the cream that's already been made for you. And,
Exactly.
and already been tested and so forth.
And that's strikingly similar to the exact formula structure that we talk about in headlines within the 3X course. I mean, there's formulas for everything, and once you unlock those formulas, you can do it as fast as Mark just did, which is a brilliant headline, by the way. And the cool thing about VSLs is it takes the pressure off of having to create a monstrously good headline. When you add one to it, it just makes everything that much better. It's really, really awesome. I mean, when you combine the two elements together, you really have the best possible sales vehicle. So that's exactly how I would go about it too, and that's exactly how the course would teach you to go about it. So
cool. Yeah, I mean, are there any other questions that people have? By the way, I've had a lot of people saying that they've actually bought it. One guy said the 5 minutes was a tough deadline, given the information had to be entered, and I had to type pretty fast.
Yeah, just
a
click will count.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably at least a few minutes leeway on that, but
I'll tell you what I'll do, Mark. Here's what I'll do: I will do this. If you get this before I go to the next slide, then I'll still give you the fast track. And if for any reason you don't make it on the next slide, send me an email why you didn't. And if you send me an email that's honest, I'll make sure you get it. So I don't want that to hold anyone up from getting something that's going to make you so much more money than any other product that I personally know out there. I mean, that it's already been proven too many times to know. So yeah, please don't let that hold you up.
Cool.
But so I'll stay on the slide a little bit longer. I'd like to answer any specific questions people have. If you have questions regarding copy, if you have questions regarding the generator, what it does, throw anything you want. at my way, and as long as Mark will stay on the air, I will answer your question.
Okay. Larry says, I'd like to have a go at answering this one first. I'll let you take over after my answer. He says, how would you use VSLs for Amazon Kindle publishing? And I'd like to give 2 different ways that you could do it for Amazon Kindle stuff. First of all, a Kindle books to me, while, I mean, I make, not loads of money, but I make over $1,000 a week from Kindle, as a side income. But the biggest income that I actually make from Kindle is actually more as a lead generating tool. So I'll put a book up there or a mini book, but then I'll lead it. From within the book, I'll link off to a free report of mine or something like that to get them on my opt-in list. Okay, and once they're on my opt-in list, then they can go watch a video sales letter for another product, and that's where the video sales letter comes in. So instead of making, say, $3 per Kindle book sale, all of a sudden you're making all of these extra sales of a $47 book or more, depending on what what price your information products are selling for. So it's great there. But secondly, also, you're limited if you mail. Let's say you've got a mailing list that you've built up and you release another Kindle book. So you may already have some Kindle books building a list for you, and then you make another Kindle book. You don't have to just send people straight to Amazon to go buy your Kindle book. You'll make maybe 10% of people that visit your page will buy. But if you release a little video sales letter, you may even shorten it a little bit because your Kindle books are going to sell for a lower price. But, instead of selling your Kindle book for $3, if you've got a video sales letter, you may as well sell it for $10 because you'll get at least that. And, you'll boost your conversion rate. So you could write a video sales letter, send that out to your list and get them to buy, go from the video sales letter to buying your Kindle book. So, yeah, those are just a couple of quick answers to that. Do you have any extra to add to that?
Yeah, actually, we do use VSLs for that specific purpose. I have a book on Kindle called Walk Your Way Thin. It's now called Thin in 30 Days, but it started as Walk Your Way Thin. And we do the same thing. We collect leads from Kindle, and the leads are collected through a video sales letter, which doubled the opt-in rates. So if you double the opt-in rates of a lead, let's say that you're getting 100 people hit the page a day, and you get 10 people opting in, and you go from 10 to 20. Big whoop, right? Well, yeah, really, really huge whoop. And obviously you get twice the list size. But more than that, you get word of mouth. So the more people on your list, the more people that have the chance to tell somebody else about your list. And that's how lists grow. So VSLs are used all the time as opt-ins. I highly recommend them. And they're short. The VSLs we use for opt-ins are just very, very short. So once you go through the course, you'll know how to do one.
I've had a couple of people asking if there's payment options available for this 1997 deal.
There are not payment options at this moment for the 1997 deal. There is something that we could set up for you in conjunction with Mark. If you want to email or contact Mark in any way, I can set something up for you where we could break this up into 2 payments. But the problem with, or 3 payments, but the problem with doing that, and the reason why I don't offer it is not because of any other reason other than this. The people that I want in on the 3X VSL formula, I really desire the people that understand that investing less than $2,000 in their business is literally the best thing that they could do. If someone's saying maybe it's the best thing I could do, then it's not something I want to impart to people. I want them to know it. And so once you know it, when you're committed to it, it's going to be that. And plus, again, that price is substantially lower than what it's sold for in reality. So.
Right.
That's the answer.
Okay, sounds good. I've had a couple of people asking, well, would this work for webinars?
Yeah, there's actually a webinar formula. And again, the mystery bonuses, you're making me tell you the mystery bonuses, man. Inside the course, you'll find there's actually a webinar formula, and it's also a part of the robotic close formula. How do you use this in a webinar? Well, I just did. And it's a little different than other webinars are structured. There's some similarities and there's some differences. And webinars, Mark is wonderful at webinars, and I learn a lot from people like Mark, and I will continually update that. But copy is copy is copy. And once you learn how to write good copy and speak good copy, because webinar is more about speaking live and speaking words that convey a message, a succinct message, but also one that persuades, one that convinces in a good way, in a positive way. So that's what I teach inside the 3X formula, is how to do that in an ethical, positive way. And that's very, very important to a webinar, I think. People can usually smell, BS on a webinar. I do. You know, if it's one long sales pitch, or if someone tells me they can literally click a button and start making money on the internet, that's not what this is. This is the easiest way in the world to write sales copy. That's what this is. And you have to click more than one button. it is a click of a series of buttons. Granted, that makes it easier than you can possibly ever get it, but the point is that people still have to actually watch videos and actually do something. You know, that's very important. So those are the people that I really want in there. And for webinar creation, you will find that those videos very helpful, and the whole course very helpful.
This is accessible. I had someone asking, is this accessible through iPad? Yes, it's accessible through iPad and Mac and PC. I'm right in saying all that, right?
Yes, Mac, PC, iPad, all compatible browsers. You just have to have the most recent browsers, preferable. I mean, when I say the most recent, obviously a browser is free to update. If your browser is 4 years old, update it. We have to store local storage so that the generator moves as fast as you saw. That's, by the way, with lots of people hitting in at once. It moves that fast for a very good reason.
John, and they may as well email you directly for the if you've got a support desk or something for if they do want the payment option. I've had one person just asking about that, or a couple of people.
I'll tell you what I will do is I would set up the payment option and let you have the payment option when we release the product, and when we release it live. I'll set that up for you. You can email support@3xmarketingformula.com.
Okay, support@3xmarketingformula.com.
Right. So just email that support email address, and that will get to me, and I will take care of you.
Okay, no, that's awesome. So I've had a few people saying, actually, I've just bought it, but where are all the bonuses going to be?
All the bonuses are currently, if you will, I will actually show you on screen, and thank you for your purchase. I'll show you right here. You'll have bonus Q&A recordings right here. So just look for the bonus and tab it down. And here's all the bonuses. And I also include bonuses under producing your VSL. There's two of them. This is actually a bonus. I put it under production because it is technically production, but this is actually sold separately. It's technically a bonus, but that's the vocal tonality technique. And the rest of them are found under here. And if you ordered in that minute zone, you'll see the 3S VSL Fast Track right here, the Fast Track. Here's the video sequences of that. So if you're watching me click around, that's exactly where they are. Everything is contained within the generator. That's what also makes the generator such a powerful tool. Any updates that we have, any slides that I add, which we add copy all the time, we'll catch a spell, a typo here and there. These will be fixed instantaneously on the fly, which is really cool.
Can you type into that PowerPoint slide what that support email was, just so that people can see it on the screen?
There you go.
I can't really read that. It's quite small. It's not really spelt right either. I don't think. Maybe just put it into.
Hey, I didn't say I could spell. Here, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Whoa, you know what I just did? I zoomed up on the page and I screwed up my generator. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here.
Yeah, PowerPoint. That'll be great. And just put it on that slide there somewhere.
Let's put it right here. How's this for impromptu? Support at 3x.
Cool, just for those that were asking. That would be great. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions also about the info that was covered? You know, like anything to do with tips and tricks? I'm just curious on that. You know, one thing also that I just like to give a little tip as well, when it comes down to creating the product to begin with. If you imagine say a woman in their 20s or something, that maybe it would be a good idea if she was to get life insurance. So you would say that's a need, right? She needs life insurance, or at least some sort of medical insurance. But what does she do? She goes out and buys a Gucci bag, because what she wants is a Gucci bag. And quite often, people, when it comes to creating their products, they think, what does my market need? Okay, as opposed to what does my market actually want, all right? And if you think, no matter what niche you're in, if you start making your products along the lines of what they actually want, even though it could have fantastic information, you can give them inside the product that they want. Like if it's an info product, you can fit into it all the stuff they need as well. But if you give them what they want, then all of this stuff, this whole VSL formula, everything is going to work twice as good. You're going to be, instead of you know, trying to push something uphill because you've got what you think is the perfect product and then trying your absolute best to sell it, it's just going to make it so much smoother and remove that friction, you know, in terms of having people buying it, because it's not only what they need, it'll be what they want, it'll match together. Does that make sense to people? Just type in yes if that makes sense, what I was just saying then. Cool, I've got 2 yeses, so I'm guessing that didn't make much sense.
Well, frictionless marketing makes a lot of sense to me.
3 yeses.
We talked about that.
4. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, cool. Now I'm getting a few yes, sorry, yes for sure, sorry. Yep, waking a few people up there. Yeah, so basically, you know, when it comes down to using this formula, sometimes what I find when I'm writing a VSL using John Benson's formula, if I've got a product that used to have a written sales copy, all of a sudden I start finding myself thinking, oh my goodness, I actually need to edit the product a little. I need to take because I am starting to get an idea as I'm following his formula, and doing a little bit of the research that he teaches you to do and so forth. You start to find out what they want and what you're giving them. Sometimes it's just slightly off, and be prepared to edit your product slightly in order to boost your sales, really. It's because that way you can make the claims that you need to make in your VSL to convert those sales.
Oh yeah, and there's something I'd like to add to that, Mark. It is, you know, a formula is fantastic. It's going to get you out of the gate faster, faster than anything. And you know what? If my assistant Amanda was still here, I would actually drag her into this webinar. It was totally unexpected, and just have her just say, "Yeah," she'll tell you the same thing. But the thing is, with Amanda, we doubled the conversions, comparing against a text-based sales page, and I gave her no help whatsoever. The only help I gave her is where to go to find somebody to help her upload the video sales letter. That was it, which took all of about 30 minutes for someone to do. Everything else came from the training inside in the program, and the only reason I told her where to go is because you would have to, if you had someone that you wanted to go to, you would go to your guy to do that. Anyone that knows anything about the internet can do this. It's very simple. How to upload a video, that's really simple stuff. So she's just not an internet person at all. And so she wanted to say, can I have a professional upload it? Because we wanted to upload it to our specific website. So it was a little bit of an unfair thing because you have to know FTP and all that stuff. And so because of all that, I just said, well, let's cut it easy and just, paid this guy $30 to do it. So anyway, the deal is 200% is great, right? Well, we could do 400% with some tweaks. So don't be afraid to tweak some things. Like you can look at, there's all kinds of cool tools. Like Wistia.com is a cool tool. Wistia allows you to look at when people exit your video. So you can see if there's a consistent exit point, you can see where that slide needs to be edited, which is very powerful. That's a great tip to use. Of course, you have to have a video sales letter to use it, but that's a great tip. So there's so many things that you can do to make a video sales letter better. Never give up. If you get great results, that's awesome. But test. Test changing a few slides. Test changing your pattern interrupt. It's fun, and the Vsl Generator allows it to be very easy because you can duplicate the video sales letter and simply change the elements that you want, still accessing all that formula data.
I've had a few people, Fiona and others, just saying how long is this price going to be available? Mainly because some people are moving some money around to get it onto a card. Because $2,000, some people are actually quite willing to get in, but they just don't, they might need a day or two for it to be on their credit card. I mean, I know you're running your launch on, was it Monday? So I guess it would have to be before then.
Yeah, it'd have to be before. To be fair to everybody else, it would have to be before then. It'd have to be before Monday. Mark, you might want to consider a replay if you would be so kind. If you can do that, then I'll keep this offer available until we go live.
Okay, so you're going live the end of Monday. So people will.
Yeah, the end of Monday.
Okay, so if you're watching the replay as well, I guess. So that means that, and that's when you're releasing it at. I think so. You're launching it then, and that's when you're launching it at $3,000 plus $297 per month. I'm right in saying that?
We're having monthly payment debates right now. The $297 is going to be the enterprise monthly, which means you can create multiple video sales letters, etc. It's probably going to be $29.97 or $39.97 paid in full. So that's the price points we're looking at right now. It certainly isn't going to be $19.97 with no monthly payments. But the thing is that's the 23rd, in case you're wondering, and I am fine because this is not something, scarcity is a real thing when it's a real thing. We are literally launching. I'm speaking on stage at Evan's event in Chicago, and we already know what the price point is there. So I know that I can't, go into that. And I know what we're launching for and what my partners have already agreed to. So I've got partners in on this because it's a very big technical project. To get something as sophisticated and slick as you just saw, it's not something one guy can do. It took me 1.5 years and over $1 million.
Cool. I think it sounds like John's cut off there. I can't hear him at the moment. Can other people hear John? Just say no if you can't. Just say yes if you can hear John right now. Can you hear me, or have I been cut off? Okay, I'm not seeing either showing up.
Mark?
Hey, sorry, I think I got cut off there. I thought it was you that got cut off, but it sounded like it was me. Okay, I've got some... Michelle saying, after you generate your PowerPoint, if you realize that it needs more work, can you go back to the generator and add and change stuff and then recreate your PowerPoint again? Or if PowerPoint is recreated, do you actually lose your formatting or graphics?
Yes. I've got good news and bad news. Okay. The bad news is that if you re-export a PowerPoint file, you would lose your formatting and your graphics if you re-export it from the generator. The good news is there is the trick that I use to do this that makes using the generator even easier. So what I do is I duplicate the PowerPoint file, which obviously will keep everything. And then on the sections that I want to change, I go into the generator. I change it in the generator because I access all those power words, power phrases, all the slide tools, and I say, all the copy, in other words. And I'll change the copy, and then I'll just cut and paste that copy into the PowerPoint file. Boom, I'm done. So I still get the power of the generator, and I don't have to re-export the PowerPoint file.
Right. Or if you do what I do is you do your first copy using the generator, and then any extra copy you can use the generator to give you the ideas, but you can just type it straight into PowerPoint once you've got it. And by the way, you don't have to even have PowerPoint to open a PowerPoint file. There's free software out there that'll open PowerPoint files, like OpenOffice and so forth.
OpenOffice will do it. So yeah, there's no cost in accessing the files. Some people have asked, I know that, what about the recording cost? The mic that I prefer to use is about $40 on eBay, and it plugs into a USB port, and that's it.
Yeah, most USB microphones are actually pretty good these days.
Yeah. That's all. So the cost of producing a video sales letter is just pathetically cheap. It's the most expensive part of producing a video sales letter is the cost of doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Because once you put a bad video sales letter out there, your traffic partners, if they send traffic to it and it gets 0.5% of conversion, that'll be the last time they ever mail for you. You can tell them all day long, but hey, I got this formula now, and blah blah blah. And if they know who I am, maybe they'll send it for you. But otherwise, yeah. And so I like to get people started off on the right track. So send it something where conversions are at the bare bones minimum really good. That's what we want.
Yeah, I mean the thing with these video sales letters is once you've created it, you'll get a feel for writing them, and you'll get to see from the inside out what it's like to write a well-scripted VSL, and then you'll be able to add you won't want to break the formula in any way, but you'll be able to add your own finesse to the video sales letter, and that's where the beauty is of actually having the videos as well. Because if all you did was fill in the blanks, so to speak, and choose different words and sentences, that's not bad. You could still make good money, get good copy out there. But if you want to become brilliant at this, that's where all of the training comes in as well. So you'll actually learn the psychology behind why you're writing the words that you are writing and when you're writing it. And that way, if you do make any changes later to try and make your VSLs convert even better, and add your own finesse to them, then you're going to have that structure and you're going to understand how it works.
Exactly.
So anyway, I'll take, say, 3 more questions. You've been on the call for 2.5 hours almost. So, so I want to thank you for sticking around this long. Hey,
it's my pleasure, man. It's like, This is obviously, if I get tired, I get tired, and we've done our due diligence with answering questions. I would love to answer more questions if you have them. The most important thing I can do is tell you that you can do this, and you can do it with no risk. So it's the risk-free thing that you want to, something you want to get involved with. I just yet to hear anyone that took this course and applied it and used the generator that wasn't thrilled with it. So. But I'm happy to answer any other questions, and since you've got somebody on the line that can answer some pretty interesting marketing questions, feel free.
Cool. Well, Michelle just asks, how do you preview your slides within the generator?
You preview your slides by clicking the PowerPoint button, and that exports your slides as a PowerPoint, or you can preview the slides simply by clicking on the slide section you want to preview. So we break this down into sections. So when I'm looking at this section, if I want to preview, if I want to look at this, you can just click this, you can click this, you can go down the line right here. So this is how you preview it. So normally it would be more than, we were just creating things very quickly. Normally there might be 6 or 7 slides in the section. And if I want to look at everything, all I have to do is go over here and click this button, and it'll spit out a PowerPoint file, and I can preview everything.
Okay, and obviously if you've got Keynote, I've got someone asking about that, then you can open these slides in Keynote. You don't have to open them in PowerPoint.
Yes.
Keynote works just fine. Yes, so that's great. Someone asked me if you've got any tips when it comes to writing headlines above your video sales letters.
Yeah, there's actually, like I said, in the course, there's a headline formula that I give people. But the best tips that I like that I can give you off the top of my head are, first of all, numbers work really well, especially odd numbers. Odd numbers that if you say 10, it's kind of a commonplace number. So if you say 8, for example, or some random number like that, works well to get people's attention. Things like percent signs, equal signs work really well. The headline should always be about a benefit that is not immediately recognizable. Like, in other words, I think what Mark did with the skincare thing was really, really nice. In other words, it's immediately recognizable once you know what the desire of the client is. So the skincare itself, the product may not be, even related to anti-aging, but if that's one of the benefits of the product, and what do people really want? So I'm always asking what people really, really want when I construct a headline, and what they want is what I key on, and what I focus on. And if you do that, it's like 7 ways to look 7 years younger, for example. That's a great pithy headline. That's very simple and to the point. The other thing I like to do is I like to keep headlines to 2 lines, for video sales letters. And another tip that I think is very valuable is there's a cursive font that's not, it's cursive, but it's not so cursive that it's hard to read, that has just, for whatever reason, has really increased conversion.
Like handwriting fonts, you mean? Like Hand of Sean?
Yeah. Yeah, I said cursive, excuse me, handwriting, yes.
Cool. Yeah, no, those are great tips. I usually find that the handwriting fonts, like Hand of Sean, works particularly well. When it comes to video sales letters. Definitely something worth trying for people. All right, I want to say a big thank you for running this webinar. It wasn't just a great offer, which like I said, I bought 2 copies of it myself, so I highly recommend other people go to that web address 3xvsl.com/ml and make sure they grab their copy before the price changes. But not only is it a good offer, but you released a heck of a lot of great tips. So, regardless of buying the offer or not, which, I highly recommend people do, I just think that copywriting is the main area of skill that everybody that's involved in internet marketing that's serious about making big money should get obsessed about. If you can convert sales, all your other problems in marketing go away. Okay, all your problems just about in life go away. If you can convert sales, look, if people will buy products from you, then look, even if you don't have your own products, you can charge yourself out at $5,000, $10,000 per sales copy. If you're good at converting sales copy, people will pay that easily. I'd pay that. But or if you've got your own product, all of a sudden you'll make the sales, you'll make money, and you'll have money that you can use to buy traffic. Or you don't even have to worry about buying the traffic, because affiliates will send you the traffic for you, because affiliates love mailing and promoting offers that convert to sales, because they'll make them their commissions. I can't think of many problems that aren't solved in marketing by conversions. So that's the one area of business for me personally, and for just about everybody else that I know that's making 7 figures and 8 figures a year online. That's the one skill you should become obsessed with. If you're obsessed about copy and become brilliant at copy, regardless of whether or not you buy John's course, if you become obsessed with copy and become good at it, there's no way you won't make millions, at least over the next few years. It's it's incredibly, like, the most important skill. So anyway, a big thank you. Please, guys, let us know in the Q&A box if you enjoyed the webinar, if you've learnt some great stuff from this. And let John know what you thought of the webinar, and if you've learnt some great stuff, the 5 tips and so forth. It's just good to know. It's good to know for John's feedback. I think that it's been fantastic, the advice. Just laying it out in those 5 parts to the formula, I think was incredibly valuable, and and it's great to see a lot of people saying very good stuff, fantastic material, breakthrough technology, loved it. Yes, there will be a replay to those that have asked. Yes, most definitely wish I had the cash to buy this right away. I liked it, very informative, very helpful webinar. It's fantastic, and obviously we had a bunch of people decide to take you up on the offer as well, which is awesome. So you're going to get to work with them in your members area. So thanks, guys, for joining us on this webinar. I hope that you take action with what you've learned. At the very least, get obsessed about copywriting. It's the number one biggest indicator of whether or not you're going to make millions of dollars online or not. The better you get at it, the more money you'll make. It's really that simple. So get obsessed about all forms of copywriting. So anyway, take action with what you learned. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, John, for being here, and we'll see everybody next time. Bye for now, everybody.
Thanks for having me.